There we are. And we are back now with our lovely crew all assembled. I think they're there. How's that? Directions, who cares? Hello everyone, hello, how are you doing today? And hello lovely Dorcas. He's so
hello.
cute. It's so cute when people actually cosplay their characters. I'm feeling like so excited about it, like a little child at Christmas. How's everyone doing today?
Very well.
Yeah.
Oh,
very green.
Mark is nervous, as usual.
Aw. Does he still have his fish? Is the fish at this point a little bit more awake and sobered up?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a pretty big fish. Like, you know, it's a carp. So like, it barely fits in that bowl. So it's
a carp in a goldfish bowl.
Yeah. Oh, it's a big goldfish bowl.
I'm a big dumb, and I just put together that it's a carp named Magic, and my head hurts so much right now.
Oh my god, I get it!
Chat, give us a minute.
No need to feel bad, because...
I didn't clock that. Amazing. I honestly thought it was a goldfish.
If I take these headphones off, I'm pretty sure blood is just going to spill out of both ears. So,
So that's Mork. You've met Mork now, who is very sweet and killing us with kindness and puns. Jesse, who are you playing today?
I am playing William, and I am killing everybody with subterfuge and illusions, misdirection and nonsense.
Nice. Duncan. Hey, you're the literal killing with kindness type, aren't you?
Like... I kill with disappointment, guilt trips, and occasionally walls of fire.
The mum friend.
Yeah.
The mum friend. And Dorcas,
Parent
other than
energy.
killing it with your looks, what are you killing us with?
Yes.
Who are you playing? Oh, well, Annie, I should say, because I keep
addressing
you as your
who am I
character.
playing? I am Dorcas. Not only am I playing Dorcas, I am embodying Dorcas, the half-elf, half-orc paladin.
Yeah. And I am Lydia. I am everyone else. I'm all the other weird voices. Half our Sarmit as well. But Lydia, amongst friends. And we are all friends here on Twitch and on YouTube. Hello, everyone checking us out on YouTube as well. We've just had a big discussion in chat about what we all started playing roleplay games with. For me, it was 3.5. This, of course, is a 5E edition. If you're on YouTube, let us know in the comments there what you started with and what your preferred system is these days. Doesn't matter what system, though. If you need to get yourself into the right mood, into the proper world building mood, then we've got a couple of tools for you. I don't know if you ever tried World Anvil, but I highly recommend that because it's an amazing little tool for creating all those intricate details that you always want for a good immersive world, right? And I remember years ago at this point, because we're old, I met the folks from World Anvil down in London for an event, and it was just starting out, and they were so excited talking about their project, and to see how far they've come at this point is bloody amazing. I tried it out back then, and I tried it again this time with the Guards campaign, which maybe not. We'll see if we can put something together there, and it's come such a long way. So have a look at World Anvil in chat, and you can also get a little bit of a discount there on your subscriptions if you want to with our code. We also, of course, have our friends from Wormwood giving us a little discount code for any shipping you might be interested in, and Fantasy Grounds is also having a couple of new developments with a new Unity engine, which is in beta and early access. Then again, all of that and much more can be told to you by someone so much more competent than me. That's Past Charlie. Present Charlie is also very competent, to be fair, but heading over to Past Charlie for our sponsors, and then we'll be starting back in the City of Eden with our guards.
Mark.
Before we begin today's show, I would like to take some time to remind you about our sponsors. Fantasy Grounds, our virtual tabletop of choice. All of the beautiful maps and roles you see tonight are done using Fantasy Grounds, which you can try for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer and 40k minis for up to 20% off regular retail price. and Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. Go and check them out at tabletoploot.com.
We're back with backhanded compliments. Thank you, Jessie. And our four lovely guards, William, Dorcas, Mork, and of course Duncan, who last time when we saw them had been wandering around the city of Eden collecting evidence for a case that was brought to them by their guard captain, Tallulah Thundertongue. And it's an important case because it's the very first one. Our rookies' training wheels are now off, are all out to save the world, or their pockets, or their flasks. I don't know what you all have in mind in terms of ulterior motives, but so far it's going well. They had a look at the Guild of Resurrectionists, the Body Snatchers, as everyone calls them, and Master Burke, who is totally not a vampire, would tell them about a strange guy, Darian Drummond, who's been seen trying to sneak into the guild, trying to take over, trying to suggest new revenue streams with some necromantic artifacts that he can get a hold of. But it's those very artifacts that are causing problems in the city. So after they had a look at the guild, they would move over to a certain young student's dorm, Dalvin Rimple, who'd been in contact with Darian Drummond to see what he had to say. Problem is, he wasn't there. And after a totally legal, at least, you know, in the greater sense of the word, slightly subterfuge to get into the dorm room, they also found a letter addressed to Dalvin Rimple from Darian Drummond. And now it's on them to find out who wrote that letter really, and where is that guy? What does he look like? Who is that mysterious Darian Drummond? So we're off to the stationery shop, because, you know, that's where the real good info lies. You're heading down the stairs of this beautiful old mansion that was repurposed for the student dorm room. You're walking up South Bridge, which is thus called because it goes south, and the city of Eden is incredibly creative. They have a North Bridge as well. Guess where that one's going? Anyway,
West.
and there's always one. There's always one who says that. It's like, why am I not expecting it? Was it Jessie? Of course it was Jessie. I didn't have the thing open. Right, it was Jessie. Yeah, it was Jessie. Anyway, there's a beautiful stationery and calligraphy shop on Southbridge. As it's very near by the university, this is where most of their students will get their stuff. If anything special, like this beautiful black paper. Oh my god, the cat is so cute. Don't expect me to keep my shit together when there's a kitten on your shoulder. Where this beautiful black paper and white ink was purchased, well, that shop should know. And as you're heading inside, there's a lovely old-fashioned bell ringing, and a dwarven lady, elderly with grey hair, done up with several braids into a nice little updo. Hello, welcome, dear customer. How can I help? She says.
Cute cat.
Thank you. Yes, that is my little kitten, Sparky, we call her. My name's Muriel. Hi.
Muriel Sparky. Oh, I get it.
I don't.
Very
hi.
pleased to meet you. I'm
Hello.
Dorcas. This is Mork, Duncan, and William, and we are just, from the city guard doing a little bit of shopping in the corridor, and just thought we'd pop into your shop. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have a couple of new things that the guard might be interested in. We now have personalized stamps, which will make all those cease and desist letters so much easier to sign. Tallulah will be very pleased. She was requesting that specifically. We've got a couple of other stamps, again, all fully customizable, even with logos.
Fantastic. May I have a look at this paper? And I kind of give William a look, like, go on and take a look around sort of thing.
And she takes
I'll
Duncan.
walk off with her, inspecting the things she has for what she's recommending for the guard paperwork.
Yeah. She's immediately placing a hand like up your back to push you towards the beautiful wall that is full of various types of papers, and there's a little section there with just old-fashioned type of stamps, as in you actually stamp the ink and then the paper. These were hand-carved, actually. Hand-carved by my cousins over in the West. They are very quick, and the stamps are quite sturdy as well. So these are our testers. If you want to test it out, we've got a nice little ink bit here for you, and the tester paper, go for it. And she's super excited about that stamp.
Take it in my hand and kind of run the paper through and be like, wow, this texture is amazing. Do I have the do I have the note from that we got found in the thing?
Yeah, you took that with you guys.
Okay. Did I have it? Who had it?
Doesn't matter. This is
Right.
Yeah.
You can ask around as well if you want to make it RP.
Okay. So I can take out and present the blank side to her. It's like, I was wondering if you carried something more like this.
Oh, yes. This is our high-end paper. The guard usually, unfortunately, doesn't have the funds for that. This is stone paper, I'll have you know. Yes, actual stone is used for the... hold on. And she goes to a special back room. That sort of stuff is not on display. Theft is a very serious crime in this town. And she comes back with a stack of beautiful, pristine, black papers, stone paper right here. Some of the more esteemed customers usually fork out for special invitations. We had wedding invitations printed on these last year. Two lovely ladies over from the Westport finally tying the knot. We were all rooting for them. We have the Guild of Resurrectionists using them as well for official paper. The Necromantic School, Mortal Relativity Department, they prefer their new name. It's more the slightly edgier clients that prefer this paper. Red ink, blood red ink. No actual blood use. No animals or beings are harmed during the production of this ink, but blood red ink is also quite popular with it.
Interesting. You don't happen to have a record of sales of this paper, do you?
Oh, I might. Hold on, we don't really keep a track of every single person and their addresses, just the larger deliveries. I can look at the books there.
Anything you have would be helpful. This is in our official capacity here.
Mm-hmm. You see that she goes back to a large ledger, which, again, not every individual customer, but some of the larger quantities that will be delivered. You can see there the Resurrectionist Body Snatcher Guild definitely gets a good amount of these papers shipped out every now and then. So does Rupert Knox from the Department of Mortal Relativity. You have a couple of noble families in the new town that seem to like it and get them in larger quantities. But the name Darina Drummond individually does not show up. He could be part of some of those bigger places, of course, but not the individual name.
What about the Rimple family? Are they on the list at all?
Rimple. No, they take the rose gold.
Of course they do.
Sorry? The little kitten starts clambering up William's leg. Keep this in character.
Oh.
Sparky, don't scratch the nice man.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna do any permanent harm. And I'll give it like a little scratch behind the ears.
That's purring. Permanent.
Yeah, we're friends now. So this is good. This is fine. We're okay over here.
Just maybe keep the fish away from her. She's insatiable.
Does she like catnip by chance? And I'll just hold out Tilly the shrub a little bit and see if the cat is interested at all in.
Tilly is at first like, what are you doing? What are you doing, woman? And the cat starts sniffing, starts pawing at the leaves until he paws back and sort of slaps the little kitten. Kitten goes, Tilly goes.
Don't know how cats work. Well, guess not today anyway. Good kitty.
Tilly,
Pat, pat.
Tilly, if she two twigs in the shape of crossing her arms.
I'm sorry, love.
She's a little bit miffed.
So you say you're quite sure you don't keep any more detailed records of who buys these sorts of things?
Yes, I'm terribly sorry.
Do I believe her?
You can roll an insight check.
All right, let me get an insight check ready to go. All right. Ooh, a 17.
Nice. She is a lovely, lovely lady who is pouring her heart and soul into the shop. She would never lie to you.
Just not the best bookkeeper.
Just not the best bookkeeper. And again, it kind of makes sense when people come in individually, you don't keep a hold of their address. That would go against every form of GDPR.
Ooh,
Fair enough.
But might they have to sign something when they buy this paper? Because it is kind of valuable, right? So maybe we could do one of those good old compare handwriting sample things. I don't know.
If you want to go, spend the next 3 episodes going through hundreds of individual
Forensic D&D. Let's do it.
Well, listen,
Forensic handwriting D&D analysis.
Serious
However-
investigators.
Roll
Tallulah would like this.
1,500
Everyone else,
investigations.
however. Yeah.
And
Guards are
Mark
very
starts
thorough.
slapping Will, just like.
What's up?
If she's the only one who sells the paper, I could have her think about what they look like and read her memories.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see any problems with this. Okay.
Maybe
That's
we
something
should
guards
just,
can do, right? That's okay, right?
maybe we
Between
should
you and
just
me,
ask
I think
her
that's perfectly
first.
fine.
But there's a difference between her describing it and me seeing it.
This is like
I see.
assisted memories. You're providing a service, Mark. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Whether or not you keep full records of everyone who bought, the paper makes sense. Like that seems like a lot of work, between you and me. I couldn't imagine it. But maybe the person who bought it most recently, does that, stick in your memory at all? Any vivid mental pictures, anything that my friend could read your mind about?
Read my what about?
What? It's not Mark. It's not a very complicated or invasive spell. I promise. It's just whatever you think about, I would see for a brief period of time.
Very safe. Totally. We do this all the time.
Yeah,
Oh,
0%
right.
chance of catastrophic mental failure.
0. That's small. That is a small number.
Why would you mention it then if it's 0?
For your
well, that's what
peace of
I would be
mind.
worried about if I was in your more. I'm sorry, forget about it. It was a bad
Roll
idea.
me
I'm just
persuasion.
and Mork
No,
just runs.
No, it's okay.
Mork
it's okay.
just runs
We're
out of
good.
the store.
Will try to grab him by the back of the robe. Exactly.
Roll me a persuasion check. I was gonna say with advantage, then Mark ran off, and that would be disadvantage.
I don't think
now
I'm
you're just
helping.
rolling a straight one.
That's fair. Who's rolling it? Is it me or is it Mark?
I don't know. Probably you, because it doesn't look like Mark is so here for it.
That's fair. Okay, let me see what my mod is here for persuasion. Oh, it's good. +6, which is not too bad at all.
Nice.
Remember how to do fantasy grounds and blam. I did the thing. I got a dirty 20.
That's not bad. Well, I guess it's for the guard business. Yes, I will not be left a dribbling mess. Correct?
No,
They still
absolutely
have
not.
customers coming in soon
Yeah,
enough.
of course. Yeah, and that would just be we wouldn't do that.
All right.
We're
And
guards.
She glances at Duncan as well and Dorcas, who. Okay.
I'll just
A little nod like, yeah, whatever.
and don't worry. After this is over, I will make sure that Tallulah can put in an order for your steps. Deal?
Thank you. That is much appreciated.
I think she'd really like them.
What do I need to do?
Just
You need to put me in trance.
Will's gonna start talking, then like slowly look over to Mork. Just like think about who bought the paper last.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't last very long. So I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm gonna just ask you to think about the person in their face. That's important because that's how you recognize people.
May I perhaps have the letter again? You showed me earlier, Master Duncan. The letter.
Oh, of course. And I flip over the paper. I fold it so you can just see the signature.
Yeah. Okay, black paper. That's a little bit. That should be the recent edition. White ink. Okay, that. She walks out of the store for a moment. You're thinking, what, is she running away now? And you see her through the dirty window, sort of holding up to the sun. Oh, that's the pearlescent. All right. I think. All right. I am ready to solve this case now.
NPC rolls
Can I
stationary
start?
proficiency.
Yeah.
All right. So just think about that person and their face, and I'll talk to you as it's happening, and to maybe focusing on details.
Right.
Sound good?
So
All right.
I can remember that this black paper in the recent weeks was purchased by several students with the spring starting up and the hormones as well. They're necromantic students, like to write little fancy letters, and anyway, they would usually use the blood red ink though, or black on black for secret messages. There were 3 students, one a tiefling lady, two half elves. There was yes. The white ink was purchased by one of the monks of the Grey Friars.
Sorry,
Master.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I was just waiting for a appropriate time to start casting the spell.
Oh, I see. I thought that was...
And Mark's gonna
Right.
cast the spell.
Go ahead, son. Don't interrupt your
Okay.
train of thought.
She was super into it already.
Yeah.
Is there any...
magic.
Yeah, right. Is there any role you need me to do, or are you just reading the surface thoughts?
No rule happens. Just automatically roll the surface thoughts, and the only rule would be if I wanted to delve deeper into a specific memory that she's trying to conceal, but that would be inappropriate at this time, so I'm not going to do that.
To be fair, I'm just going to rule because she's not trying to conceal anything. You're going to read her
Reasonable.
thoughts. She's not trying to resist in any way. She's here for it. She has her little detective cap on.
Excellent.
All
And
right.
Mark, as Pelgar, all right, he just kind of starts doing magic, and then he goes, in the middle of the night, I go walking through your dreams.
Ooh, we have a connection there. And you do see the faces of those students she mentioned. You see her thinking about some of the Grey Friars. You see 2 gentlemen who are aristocrats in the new town. You see her stumbling for a moment, because the most distinct memory of the ink and the black paper were actually the wedding invitations of that couple she mentioned, but that was months ago at this point, almost a year. The recent thing, it was the monk, was the 2 nobles, and the students.
All right. And I'm gonna, as she's doing that, I'm gonna be like, okay, now that student, and I'm gonna have her just pause on each one for a moment so I can get a good picture.
Oh, we're doing the thing, right? We're doing the 3D where you throwing that up and like Iron Man, Tony Stark, and then swiping through the 3D model. I'm here for it.
Yeah. And then when it finally ends, because it only lasts a minute, so we go kind of fast, try to get through as much as we can. And then when it's done, Mork's going to wave his little hands and put a little image of all the faces up in the stationery shop with minor illusion.
Oh.
Will's gonna give
The
like a
guard
golf
is-
clap.
The guard has really improved.
These are our suspects.
Special effects.
We're very good guards.
I can see that. You must have been at it for years.
Well, no, but they did teach us about the importance of visual aids when you're doing a presentation in guard school, so.
I do like my books with illustrations as well. I can see that. Yeah.
There was a pamphlet.
Yes. Every now and then, a book club Master Doyle is putting up his latest detective novels, and I'm always very, very into it, as you can see.
That crazy Arthur.
He's a madman.
Do you recognize any of the faces here that go with the handwriting or the paper you sold?
Yeah, I wouldn't know about their handwriting. If you don't mind me putting my own spin on things, if you will, I'm mostly concerned about the ink. See, that is quite an expensive one as well. And the only one who bought that was the monk. Sure, they might have had it at home, but and the wedding, of course. But well,
Did you say at the wedding?
yes,
Whose wedding?
that was. I can look through that, but that's the old ledgers in the storeroom, which is. It might take a while. I can get that to you by the end
Do you
of the day,
recognize
but
the
I can't
face?
really. No. Well, yes, I recognize them because they bought here, all of them. You took them from my head.
Yeah.
Is the illusion still up?
Yeah. Like, why not?
Would we recognize any of their faces?
I'll throw up
Could you-
the
Yeah.
married couple too.
Yeah.
I know it's a long shot, but
Do you
The-
happen to recognize them in more recreation of them?
Roll me, for you guys to see if you recognize anyone, a general intelligence check.
Oh,
Might
good.
history apply?
No, because this is not
Okay.
ancient history. This is everyday streetwise life, basically.
Hey,
short-term
19
memory.
plus 0.
Oh, Dorcas rolled a 6. That's delightful.
21?
Dorcas distracted by the stationery.
Dorcas is actually, I think, at this point, just testing out the different stamps and seeing what the ink payoff is, depending on how deeply you tamp into the into the paper itself.
Deeply
Very
invested
pleased.
into this whole possibility about picking up stamps later.
Yeah.
100%. Both Dorcas and Anna are invested in this possibility.
And William is busy being a cat tree.
Yes.
But I think who was the highest? Mark?
Mark.
21.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
21.
With that, it's a bit odd because that face does look familiar. When you ask about the wedding couple in particular, the face looks a bit familiar. Bit younger, of course. Possibly is that Waldy's daughter? Maybe they look so alike, or Waldy in younger years. There's a similarity.
Nat does not remember who Waldy is. Could you give me a...
Oh, she was the old lady that you met at the Iron Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And she did mention having a wife, and the stationer's shop said that it was 2 women getting married, right?
Yes, that's Waldy and her lady friend, her gal pal, Torrance.
Walden and Torrance, okay.
Ma'am, I think you can just say life. It's okay.
Oh, I know. It's just, we were speculating for a good decade before they actually made it public.
Oh,
Yes, they lived together, they worked together. But we all knew it, and they insisted on just being pals. Ridiculous.
Well, you've been you've been an extreme help. Thank you, Muriel.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help with this exciting case.
Could I take some of these little papers to show off as some samples to Cholula, just so she has an idea of what these stamps will be like?
Oh, absolutely. Take the testing papers, by all means, and let her know that we're always here to help, of course.
Wonderful. Thanks very much. Oh, great. Oh, and if you happen to remember anything else, and I'll just pull out another one of the little business cards that says guards with the exclamation mark on it, do send a message.
She looks around. There's, again, no address, just on the other side, a crude drawing of the guardhouse. Right, yes, I know that place. Thank you. Literally around the corner. She puts it in her pocket. Anything else?
You've been most helpful. Mork just tucks out behind him.
Mork was looked at for longer than 2 seconds directly. He ran away. All right, you're leaving the stationery shop, and you have a couple of options, I guess.
So we've got the possibility.
Do you need me to go through them, or would you like to just consider yourselves?
Sure. Why don't you go through them? You know, for the audience entirely, not for us.
Sure. Well, you heard about Torrance and Waldy now. The lovely old lady with the huge whiskey bottle that was, you know, lunch for her wife. Their wedding, according to Muriel, was over a year ago, and that's when they got the invitations and the ink. You know that the Totally Not a Vampire Master Burke is also using that stationery for his official letters. Rupert Knox from the Department of Mortal Relativity is using them, and one of the monks was also the only one buying it with the white ink.
One of the monks would make a great deal of sense, as he has access to... This is one of the Grey Friars, right?
Yes, that's
okay,
whenever you hear monk in town, it must be one of the Grey Friars.
Yes, that one of the Grey Friars has access to the graveyard. This could make a certain amount of sense.
Well, they're the only matchup that had the right ink color. Anyway, so that seems a prime choice.
I think it sounds the most promising, and if we have time left over, maybe we follow up with the wedding invitations, just for thoroughness. I mean, it seems less likely that the elder couple getting married would have anything to do with the illicit necromantic activities, but
unless that's
never
what they
know. That
want us
lady
to
was
think.
pretty old. She was pretty old. You know, maybe she's... They always say you're supposed to make a plan for what comes after your death. It's just the nature of that plan is somewhat up in the air sometimes.
Oh man, Tom almost snuck into Duncan there for a second, because I was like, they might have whiskey left.
Oh no.
So we'll visit them after hours. It'll be perfect.
We should tread carefully with the Grey Friars. They don't have the best relationship with the guards. If we were to go in asking questions that could be interpreted as accusatory, it might turn bad very quickly.
Just to, because I think that you might have remembered weirdly.
Am I misremembering?
Yeah.
Oh,
they
okay,
have
sorry.
a weird relationship with the Department of Mortal Relativity. With the guards, they're fine.
Okay, no, we have a good relationship.
Yeah. Tallulah just asked you not to mention the department too much when you're going to the graveyard.
Got it, okay. So then in that case, forget everything I just said.
Done.
Well, you've never even listened in the first place.
I don't know about you all, but we've been working at this for a while now, and I could use some lunch. Y'all want to get lunch?
Lunch
I mean,
would be nice.
medicinally speaking, that's a good idea.
Luckily, in the city of Eden, you cannot fall over without accidentally ending up in a pub somewhere. So
Does anywhere serve tacos?
Sure. Why
Excellent.
not? We have pizza. Why not have tacos? Whether they're good tacos, I cannot guarantee.
That's okay.
But there's
Always depends on the quality of the pub, right? Like most foods, it depends.
Yeah. Shall we?
That sounds
can,
reasonable.
I
think
suppose.
We've earned ourselves a lunch break.
And let's say, William, you're the one getting around. You know of a new place opening up down in the Cowgate, which is the slightly seedier part of town. A little bit shady, quite literally, because it's at the bottom of a big ridge, a big valley, and it's usually seen as more of the slum area. But it's been gentrified recently, and there's a couple of bars, a couple of places opening up, and you know of one tiefling who's opened up a place of exotic foods, and supposedly tacos. Yeah, you remember seeing that on the menu. You were mostly there for liquid lunch, but yeah.
I know this one place of very excellent repute that serves this kind of fried meat in like a half bun shell with cheese on top, and it is to die for. I guess so. I don't know. I was a little sauced when I had it. But I mean, we can go try that.
Yeah, I could use a brief respite with some tacos. A short, rest-like period of time.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. We can talk about what we want to do next.
Give me a moment. Oh. Hold on, is it my
To
Twitch
Cowgate.
crashed?
Dun, dun, dun.
Chat right
To
now.
the Cowgate. Lovely, lovely. Just double checking that wasn't my Twitch that just crashed, was it?
We're up on my end.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, we're good.
Super. So you're heading down to the Cowgate, which is through several of these old winding alleyways, dirty and a little bit foreboding. It's always before you joined the guards, there was always this little feeling of, someone could jump me from any corner. Now that you have joined the guards, there's the feeling of, God, someone is going to jump me from any corner right now because you're guards and you're in the city part of town. But today you're in luck. It's still early enough that people who are up to no good are still fast asleep. Yes, I'm atting myself there. And you're finding this place. It's Andrasa's Special Spices. The tiefling is busy at work. She's a very chatty one. She's lived in town for only a couple of months, and already people tend to know her quite well because she's dancing on every party basically. She has bright white skin, black hair. She's quite well traveled, and you can never quite place her accent. But she welcomes you. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Come in, come in, come in. Table for four, yes?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Oh, William, wasn't it you there just last week? Yes. I remember dancing on the tables with the, well, no, not you.
That happens. I would like to say that it wasn't, but I don't recall. So there's a very real possibility that it was.
Right, and you are, of course, on duty, so I did not say a word, Take a table there on the left, out the window, and I'll be back with menus in just a second. And it is literally exotic foods. You can get everything from tacos to pizza to schnitzel. You can get bloody sushi if you want to. You might not want to because it's still the slum of the city and you do not know how fresh that fish is. But she hands you those menus and chats you through the various options. And at the end, you kind of want them all. Very charismatic being that one.
Andressa, can I take 2 pints and this pretzel burger? That sounds really good.
Of course. We got the pretzel burger in just last week. You have not tried it yet?
You know what? I think I did try it, and I think that's why I want it.
But
And I
you don't
am now
remember,
remembering the table dancing, and this time I won't use them as shoes.
That is very, 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 very much appreciated. We cleaned up for 2 days. 2 pints, anything for you guys?
I'd like a pint, and I'd like to try the airport sushi, I believe.
Very
Don't know
good
what that
choice.
is, but I'd like to try something new.
You have the day off, yes? The rest of the day off?
No, not really, no. Why do you ask?
Listen here, girl. Airport sushi, cheapest option. Not good option. No good. You will...
But it sounds so... It sounds so exciting at the time. Like right now, it sounds great.
I am not here to tell you what to do, but let us just say you've a couple of my customers have not left their bathroom for 2 days after trying this. I fully expect it to be taken off the menu next month, but the chef still insists it's his specialty.
Well, what would you recommend then?
Oh, this lovely thing here, schnitzel with noodles.
That sounds great. I'll have that plus a pint.
Wonderful. Anyone else?
Whatever your spiciest food is.
Spiciest food. I have just the right thing for you. Have you ever heard of ghost pepper?
I haven't.
It was grown by a ghost. It's spicy as fuck.
I look forward to it.
I'd like that.
Friend. Yes.
I'd like that, but in tacos.
In tacos.
2 of them?
Tacos.
2 or 3? Yeah.
Wonderful. And my friend, white-haired friend, in which form would you like ghost pepper? We've got them as chili fries. We've got them in tacos. We've got different versions of that. A burger as well with the special hot sauce.
Excellent.
So Duncan, that was towards you. Like,
How do you want the ghost pepper? In tacos with the hot sauce.
In tacos with a hot sauce. All right. So we're having the schnitzel, we're having the tacos, we're having the pretzel burger. And I'm going to use the sub-goal for this particular short rest that kind of got out of hand here.
Oh my.
We are going to roll 4 con checks. If all of you get above a 10, then you're fine. And you get advantage on a save.
Ooh.
In the next for the rest of the game, for the rest of the day. If all of you roll above a 15, you get the benefits of a hero's feast.
Ooh.
Spicy beast.
Ooh.
All of
Heroes
you-
airport sushi.
All of you above 15. If you have any advantages, you can use that. If you have anything feat-wise, you can use that. But
I have nothing and a big old +0, so I'm gonna bring us
Also-
down.
on a natural 1, something might happen.
Okay, so when I roll.
Oh wow! Whew. Well, no bonuses. Sorry, everybody.
Wah. 7.
And
Oh. What am I? +2?
Either this food is terrible or we are awful.
Ay. Before Dorcas bites into the schnitzel,
All right.
she's just going to turn to Duncan and be like, but how will you know that the ghost pepper is there if you can't see?
I'm assuming Duncan
Oh, no.
is a
Oh.
Duncan is a like hot pepper react video. Like 2 bites in, just like, and like just gets up and leaves.
So Mork is going to, because as he bites into this and it starts to enter his taste buds, he's going to use his racial ability saving face, where he can add a bonus equal to the number of his allies who can see him failing to the roll, which includes his fish. That's a creature.
all right, so
Does it include Tilly.
That's a creature, and it maxes at 5, so it's 5. So I
Okay.
get a 13.
You
And
get
it's
a
mostly
13.
for the memes as he just swallows down the pain.
Wow. All right. So, how many of you?
I'm starting to
roll
remember
above
why I
10?
used this food as shoes.
How many of you did roll above a 10? Because in this one, my fantasy grounds is cut off.
I think just
Dorcas
Dorcas.
Dorcas rolled a 20.
Jesus. Dorcas rolled a 20.
I did it
Non-natural,
too
dirty
after
20,
using
yeah.
my thing.
Okay, Dorcas, you get that one save at least because now I feel bad. But
Yeah.
you get that one save on any save of your choice really, and for the rest of the day.
And that's advantage on it or auto
advantage on it,
success?
yeah.
Okay.
Advantage on it.
Okay. Thank you.
But chat, you still have the retweets, 3 more, and we might have another option, and this time with less of a caveat, maybe. Depends on what I'm thinking of, really.
Uh-oh.
So you can also get your short rest while this lunch is
Cool.
happening.
While dying from spice, Mork would like to kind of get Dorcas's attention.
Oh, yes. How can I help you, Mork?
Can we talk? Like, and he looks at Will and is like, outside or something.
Yep. Yes, of course.
All right, I'm gonna try not to take any offense to that.
I'm sorry. I wasn't mean. It's not about you.
I'm just kidding, Mark. It's fine. People offend me all the time, or try to. You know what? They don't offend me. They just hurt my feelings. A lot.
That's worse.
I'm not saying that you're doing that right now. I'm just, you know what? I'm just gonna drink my beer and stop having my inside thoughts out loud.
That boy, why don't you
looks
talk
like
to
Mork
Duncan
is-
about that?
It looks like Mork is crying.
Oh.
Partially from embarrassment, partially from very, very spicy tacos.
Andrasa sweeps past and puts 2 glasses of milk on the table. There you go, dearest. Everyone needs that, in a minute or 2. Are you alright?
Duncan's got
Right.
like nose running, tears running, just like, thank you.
Oh, look, you're matching colors now. And she saunters off again.
Mork heads outside
no.
with Dorcas, if that's
Yeah.
fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm not so used to this like guard stuff, but what idea I had back at the stationery shop, was that okay? Is that what guards do? Using magic to solve problems like that?
To be honest, Mork, I don't really know exactly what it is that guards do. I'm just kind of doing the best that I can here. But I think that was a really good application of your skills, and that seems like the kind of thing that guards do. So, using magic to create basically a lineup of people's faces and have somebody point out who they saw recently? Yeah, I think that guards do that. You're a guard. You did it. We got what we needed. I think it was very good.
That's okay.
Here, have some more milk.
I hate this stuff. Gives me indigestion.
I wish that there was something I could do that would help
I'll
with
be
that.
okay. Pain is a flavor.
One way of looking at it, for sure.
Yeah. I just sometimes, when Will thinks that my ideas are good, and there's a little voice in the back of my head that's like, but is that because Will is a fuck up?
Well, I feel like sometimes his methods are a little bit dubious, but I tell you what, if you're ever really worried about that and you're trying to decide if you should do something, you can always ask me. I feel like somewhere in between me and Will is probably what we should be aiming for. I don't know. That seems kind of like That seems like a good idea.
All right. Well, I have this system with Will where when I get really stressed and can't say anything, I just start hitting him. Can I do that with you?
Sure.
Lightly.
But you might have to do
Okay.
it. You might have to do it a little harder, just because I'm a big girl. You know, like get my attention.
Okay.
Not like hurt me or anything like that. But you know, Will.
I wouldn't want. No, you're too nice for that.
Will talks
The
a
nice
big
people
game,
aren't
but
supposed to get hurt.
he is still just like a normal human frame or whatever. Go easy on him.
Okay. Am I mean
But
to
yes.
Will? I just act towards him like everyone else acts towards him. I thought there was
I
like a
don't think-
consensus around this.
I don't think you've been mean to anybody, Mork. Not while I've been
Okay, I
around,
worry,
for
though.
sure.
Do you ever have that feeling where like you say something to someone and you're worried that they're going to remember it for years and years and years and think you're weird and obnoxious forever, and then your insides start to turn into melted butter?
I'm just gonna put my hand on his shoulder and be like, don't worry. I think Will can take it. I know what you mean, but I really think he'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I
Feeling
need to
good?
make a detour. I think I need to make a detour to the water closet, but I'm feeling okay.
Okay, good. Go wash your face, freshen up. We'll see you back at the table, okay?
Hands, then face.
Yes. Hands first. Don't touch eyes without washing hands. Especially when
when I
eating
was young.
spicy food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Important lessons are being learned here.
Yes.
And is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we move out of the lunch place of the exotic foods and over to the graveyard?
Just that I think. Oh yeah, you did say over to the graveyard. I was like, did we actually talk about where we're going next? But you just said it, so we're good.
You have.
Sweet.
That's what you said earlier, out of character. But yeah,
Yes, yes.
I'll burn a hit die over this short rest.
yeah.
I
Go
will
for it.
too. I already rolled it, but I regained 8 HP.
Same.
I didn't have any hit dice. So Duncan is just sitting there breathing deeply. Just I'm looking at this thing like, I need to finish one of these. Not today, but I need to be able to finish one of these.
Oh, you can come back anytime here, actually. And she gives you a card with one little smiley face. It's like one of the
Frequent
get
buy.
10 get free for 10% free. It's a little smiley face on a ghost pepper, like the banana emoji, but with a ghost pepper. I don't know.
Put it into the bag
Oh.
of holding.
Yeah. That
We should give
is a
her a
special
big
little
hug.
discount.
I will be back. I need to beat this thing.
Anytime. Lovely to see you again, William. Take care.
See you karaoke
Good
night.
choices.
Well-
God, no, you are too good. You're too good. And you're heading out towards the graveyard with
Yeah.
freshly rested up. The graveyard itself, and you would know this living in town, I mentioned it a little bit last time. Some say it's actually older than the city. Nobody really quite knows how old the settlement of Eden itself is, so it's hard to tell. But there's stories, there's legends that predate stories and legends of Eden itself. And it's been used for so bloody long that it is vast. It's going on for days. And they keep using it, especially in the front area, the one closest to the city, for recent burials, and it doesn't seem to fill up. It's odd. It's like the graveyard itself swallows the remains of the dead. There's always room for more. And the further out you go, the older the parts are that you want to reach, the more dangerous it gets. Whatever lurks there has to be kept at bay, and that is why the Grey Friars are taking care of the graveyard. Again, I mentioned it last time, but just to reiterate, there is a special conclave, and that special conclave houses the more fighty monks, the classic D&D monks, if you will. And there's the PR section. There's the front gate of the monks that guard the gate. There's only one. And they take care of, telling the people what's going on with the conclave. Are there any recent cases? Is there any problem we're expecting? No, don't worry, nothing got out. No, that was a dog. That was a dog. No, the zombies are friendly. You leave them alone, they leave you alone. And they hand out little pamphlets and maps for those who desperately need to venture into the graveyard for whatever reason. The gate is not... Pamphlets. Apparently, yeah. The gate is not barred as such, but it is guarded by those monks.
Before we go in, can we do a little team huddle?
Sounds good.
I believe we may want to tread lightly here. There's the high possibility that asking the wrong questions could alert somebody to our intentions and may draw out a violent reaction.
Do you have any experience with these monks? Or is this just like you being a wise person? I was thinking, if they know you, is it like you're on good terms with them?
Speaking of the one who wrote this letter, we don't know.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, if word reaches him that he's being investigated, we don't know what sort of reaction he might have, and it may be of the violent variety. So we may want to tread carefully and not speak as openly as we have in previous locations.
On the upside, I have a lot of experience with people having violent reactions.
That's very believable, Will.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he wears tacos as shoes.
Pretzel burgers, and it was a couple of times.
Duncan, are you saying that if we say the wrong thing, people will hurt us here?
No, not necessarily, but we just need to tread carefully. If this is looking the way the young man whose room we investigated looked like he was ready for trouble, so we should be ready for trouble also.
Okay. We can do it, Mork.
People who start these sorts of side businesses tend to defend them through sometimes violent means.
And we will just have to be careful to make sure that we say the right thing. And just stay very even-keeled and level-headed, and we should be able to get through this fine.
Agreed. Let's just try to avoid mentioning the letter particularly, or the fact that we think specifically that we think a monk is involved. Let's let them come to that conclusion.
Okay.
They might close ranks, so we should be prepared for that too. There's a lot of organizations where they, are really not willing to believe that one of their own is just as shady as the rest of us.
Okay, but they close ranks around. That makes them really easy to fireball.
It's a metaphorical more.
Well,
I'm bad. Sorry, I'll just never talk again. Sorry.
No, you're okay.
Keep the fireball idea. I like it, but like back pocket, not literal back pocket. Just like, tell you what, when I say back pocket, fireball.
Mork looks at Dorcas.
He means as a last resort. It's not the worst idea, but maybe like a last resort.
What Dorcas said.
Okay.
And you have Tilly sort of batting a little twig against your neck.
Yes, what's going on?
And she points ahead, because as you were wandering towards the graveyard and wandering next to the wall that is large, very, very high wall with glass bottles embedded into the mortar at the top, spikes. The wall itself blackened, the stone, various pieces they used from old fallen derelict buildings all over. The sandstone parts completely blackened from the soot of town. As you got closer and closer to that graveyard, you didn't notice it at first, but now that you look around, it's like it's the middle of the day, but no, it's not. It's really not. It's almost like the sun has set in high speed. It's It's
Ooh.
twilight. It's dark. There's every now and then the croaking of ravens and crows from beyond the wall, and there's a certain coldness to the air that grips you to the bone.
What the letter we got? It said there was a meeting at nightfall. Is that now? I don't.
Well,
Has any of us been here before? Is this like a
normal?
normal effect that happens
Well-
around the graveyard?
William, you wouldn't know because you mentioned last time that, who doesn't go spelunking in the graveyard every now and then? Head down the old mausoleums and graves? Come on. It is always twilight. It is always nighttime at the graveyard. It seems to be that
Permanently
busy
spooky
situation.
places, you know? You put enough dead
my
people
least
in one
favorite.
place and they start to make an ambiance. And this ambiance just happens to be spooky.
If I
Yeah,
die
it really
investigating
puts
this
down the
case,
mood.
please don't bury me here.
Okay, sure.
okay. So we should probably go
I'll see
to
to a cremation.
wherever it is they were gonna meet.
they said at
Do
the
we-
gate in the letter.
At the gate. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I only
Okay,
came
well-
to the graveyard once. Kind of distracted by the raised corpses there. It's all good. I'm not nervous
Since
or
I've-
anything. It's fine.
Yeah. Since I've been to the graveyard before, do I know what the monks look like? Is it like a general attire that they all wear?
They are all honoring their name by wearing a grey tabard, if you will, above their clothes. It's not, the habit or the big tallard or anything like that. So super priestly, but they all wear this grey tabard, and there's different races. There's different professions. People have become a monk from all parts of the city or the land, and they all have different reasoning. Not all of them grow up there. Again, they're as individual as the guards are, but they all
Okay.
have that grey tabard.
Here's my plan, everybody. We know that a meeting's supposed to happen at the gate. We don't know who is supposed to be being met up with, but we know that somebody's supposed to come to the gate. We know that there are presumably going to be these other monks at the gate, right? So what if I disguise myself to look like one of these monks? You all distract the monks who exist at the gate, pull them away from the gate. I'll wait there at the gate pretending to be this liaison type person. And maybe this kid just shows up and literally walks right up to me. That would be super great, wouldn't it?
I mean,
If you're willing to
do
take
you-
that risk.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah,
Do
you're
you
kind of
think
using
we
yourself
can-
as
Oh, go ahead, Morg.
you're kind of using yourself as like bait there, and you're not the most hardy and dense person of our group. Kind of bonks you on the
I
shoulder.
actually
Are you
may
saying I'm
have
not
something
thick?
that could help with that.
Yeah, I think so. Is that bad? Sorry.
No, just clarifying. But yeah, I mean, I'm willing to take the risk. I think it'll work. And it's not like I'm going to be unarmed. Like I've got like a stick, so you know how that goes. Whack things.
I
So
think
you're just-
I think we could likely provide you the proper distraction as we spoke to the Grey Friars.
Sure, that would work out.
Perhaps you should drop back while we go to find someone to speak to.
Sounds good. We know what time the meeting was supposed to take place, right? It was specified in the letter.
The meeting, yeah, but not the date.
Not the date. Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
hoping. How close between now and the meeting time is it right now?
Close enough if you hang around an hour. But
Okay.
as you
That's
head up to
exactly the limit I'm looking for, is because I have 1 hour for disguise self.
Ah, yeah. So what are you disguising yourself as? One of the monks? Just...
So yeah, Will basically kind of bring his hands together and like sort of clap them, and then as he like opens them up in front of him, like a small sphere of light is gonna basically build up and then cover him, and then as the light dissipates, he just looks like a generic one of these gray monks. He looks a little bit taller than his natural stature, just because he doesn't know who he's trying to pretend to be, but he assumes most bad guys are looming. So
we have seen the monk who supposedly bought the stationery because of thought illusion magic.
That's right. Can I put that person's face on my own face via the way of disguise self?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Their face, you couldn't quite see the ears, so you're not quite sure if they look human, but possibly half elf. But you couldn't see the ears because they have very long black hair, a little curled, but it's a mane of hair. Their face is very gaunt, but cleanly shaven, dark eyes. They do look the part. They do look a little bit creepy. Like, if you told me that was an evil necromancer, sure, give them something purple to wear, and that probably checks out.
Well, conveniently, since their hair is covering their ears, your fake hair will cover your fake ears. It'll be grand.
Perfect. The only problem is I don't know what this person sounds like, so I'm just going to have to wing it, but that's okay.
You could pretend you have a cold. That covers all kinds of things.
That works. That works.
Like,
sorry, man. I heard like,
oh yeah.
I heard like, yeah. Well, when she was thinking, I did hear like half of what she said back and forth, but it was like what she remembered, and it was like, can I get this with the white ink? So I don't think it's gonna be that helpful. It was kind of low and menacing though, just a little bit.
All right, I think I can pull that off.
Yeah, you'll be good with low and menacing.
Yeah,
I don't know how they managed low and menacing or ordering stationery, but he did.
I'm a dangerous monk. I gotta write some deadly letters.
Pretty spot on, yeah. So you're heading up.
This is believable, right? And I'm asking like everybody else.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Are you deliberately trying to stay away from the guards as a group, or are you sort of still sauntering up somewhat nearby? Or?
Yeah, we were gonna let him drop off from us before he transformed, so that he wasn't visibly part of the group.
Right. And you're heading
as
to the
he
guards.
dropped away. Duncan's just gonna turn to Dorcas and say, "Bet you a gold piece he dies." Or at least I have to save him.
As a paladin, I'll take you up on that.
No,
I will keep William alive.
Well,
If for no
not
other
that I'll
reason.
let him die, but I'll bet you a gold piece that either you or I have to pop him back up.
You
All
can
right,
bet
cool.
who saves him first.
Yeah.
To the winner goes the spoils.
Yeah.
Who pops William back to life first gets a gold piece.
The spoils, which is William's dead and broken body. Hey!
Ha ha ha.
So you're heading up to the gate with the monks sitting there. They're seemingly fairly relaxed. They are not too bothered by the dark atmosphere. They're super used to it at this point. Every now and then one of the ravens flutters down and just screams it, and they're like, yeah, fuck off, I don't care. You've already been fed. There's one halfling man sitting on a chair reading a book. And there's a beautiful high elf, a woman, dark-skinned, with golden hair. She is looking up. Thank the lords. That is fast. We only just sent out Master Drummond. Are you coming in? Are you here for the case? We have everything here. Yeah, okay. We saw her last yesterday entering the graveyard. She never came out. Well, they never came out. Looks up at your confused faces. You're here for the missing person, yes?
Well,
Of course.
No.
We are now.
But we can help you with that.
Right, yes. We sent out, we did the obligatory waiting period of 12 hours. Master Drummond was sent out to the guardhouse. Is he with you?
He is not. We were actually keeping an eye out for him, though, but we haven't seen him as such.
Oh, so are you just patrolling? So sorry to keep, I'm sure the guards will come in a second. If you have.
That's all right.
No, it's quite all right.
we were here on a different matter, but we can help.
Oh, okay. Well, my name's Dido. I am not able to leave my post at the moment, but I can send you either with a guide or... And I'm going to say, William, this is where you sort of start lurking around the corner because you should be in visible distance of the gate.
Oh, no.
At least within earshot kind of thing, right?
Oh, Darian! Darian! Come here. The guards are here.
Oh, dear.
I'll be right there.
Darian, come on. You can take them in as well.
He'll kind of walk up. Maybe you should do it. Rock, paper, scissors?
That's not... Last time we did that, we got such a thrashing from... No. This is your job. Just because you don't like the graveyard and are scared of it and never go in on your own. I'm having guard duty today. Also,
but you're so much braver than I am, and you're so pretty.
Yeah, okay, now you're definitely going in. I'm reporting
So
this.
about the missing person that we're looking for, just because we weren't here originally on this case, would you mind just filling us in, bringing us up to speed, just so we have a little clear idea of what we're getting ourselves into?
Of course. Darren, do you have the letter on you? Do you...
I misplaced it.
Oh, God damn it. He's so useless. We had... Okay, right. We keep track of all the people coming to visit the graves of their loved ones, as is the agreement with the city. We keep track and then we report anyone who hasn't come back out. Unfortunately, yesterday evening, we had a grandmother coming in with her grandson, and they never got out. We had a guard shift change because of rock paper scissors being played. So we didn't notice until now, but we immediately came to the guard just like promised. Here, and she shows you the ledger with a couple of names of people who have come into the graveyard, left again. There's a sign out sheet basically, and there's there.
Interesting. Do you get a lot of issues with people sneaking into the graveyard?
Well, yeah, of course, because people are idiots. I think we can all agree on that. But there's only so much we can do. We don't have the people to patrol all the wall every hour. It's the gate that we man and that we use to protect the town, but if the town elects to be stupid... Yes, and she looks at Mork, who's raising his finger.
This is Nat trying to get the illustrious dragon manager. So this woman and her grandson looking to visit a grave. Would this happen to be Waldy's wife?
The name is...
We learned Waldy's wife's name at one point.
It was Torrance.
Yeah.
Torrance.
The name on the ledger is Mrs. Smith.
Mrs.
Oh,
Smith is the grave or the visitor?
Name in the book.
The visitor.
Uh-huh.
I think you'll find that the fakest name in the book is Fonsuico.
Oh God, Charlie, I'm so sorry. Charlie Smith is giving me an earful in green room.
Fakest name in the book. No one actually has that name. It just doesn't exist. That's a math fact. It's a science fact.
Obviously a pseudonym. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what your mom's up to though when she goes, away?
Wondering if she ever gets that. Oh yeah, Mrs. Smith, like that's your real name. Ha ha ha. Did it say? I wanted to ask Dido. Do they have to sign in like whose grave it is that they're going to visit, so you have like an idea of where they are?
They don't have to sign that because we don't have the right to ask that really. But we ask them if they want to tell us where they're going. And she hands you one of the maps, one of the pamphlets, that has green zones, yellow zones, orange zones, red zones, all after, various danger zones.
Yeah, so colorful. which
to
of course
myself.
I am very familiar with.
Yeah, you don't need a map. You should. Well, yeah. You don't need a map. You should know this by heart.
Where was it again that mother's grave was? Because I can't
Yes.
remember on account of being so useless.
Well, I told him to follow the signposts to the mausoleum of their family. She said 2 generations or something, 12 generations of Smiths advocates, or I don't know. She gave me a big earful about her grandson and her husband and her father and her father's father and her father's mother and all of them judges, advocates, blah, blah. I tuned out. You know what it's like. And she nudges Darian. It was in the yellow zone, so it shouldn't be too dangerous. I told them to be out before proper nightfall, but they never came back.
What was the time frame that we were looking at of people sneaking into the graveyard? Did we have a time frame of like when we thought people might be coming in and out that we were looking for?
They will usually do it at night, but because it's this everlasting twilight, any time of day.
Just looking at the ledger, do I recognize the student's name anywhere on there?
Nope.
Okay.
No student's name. Some of the names are obviously fake, like Arthur's Sleep.
Yeah. John Doe.
Aaron A. Aronson.
Some saucy
MT
ones as well.
Coppin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Some non-PG ones as well. You definitely find a Connie Lingus in there. It's
Oh, I know her.
embarrassing. I love the awkward silence there. Sweet. Demonetized. I'm so sorry. Connie. I said Connie. You can bleep that out, right, Charlie? Wait, we can say fuck, but not... Anyway, I'm gonna stop myself. But she hands you that map as well. If you want to have a look around now, there should still be plenty of time. Please find her alive and the son. I hate myself if something happened to them and we didn't act fast enough. Just make sure you read the pamphlet. Darian's with you if anything happens. You'll know how to get back to us, yeah?
You said that Darian here was sent with a letter, and because it's useless, he lost it.
Yep, that's me.
What was that letter?
Darian?
I can't remember.
He's
so
useless. I want to hear it from you.
Well, it was the exactly what I told you just now about the Mrs. Smith grandson, where they were going, what they were supposed to do to send guards to investigate. Because it's quicker to get to the guards. The conclave, their home is 3 days in.
Just informing the guards on the situation. Excellent. That's good. That means we don't need to put a lot of effort finding the letter that the dumbass lost.
Oh God, no! He'll get 3 Ave Marias later. It's not how fantasy religion works, but here we are.
Dido, I completely can't remember at all where those graves were. I'm just drawing such a huge blank. Can you please show them, and I'll do all this stuff for the rest of the work. And then as he pleads, he's gonna cast suggestion.
God.
Oh boy.
What do I roll for that?
That is a wisdom save.
A wisdom save.
I'm just so useless, and I'm so afraid of the graveyard, and it's just...
Oh, no.
Well, that doesn't work.
Okay. Does she know you're trying to cast magic at this point? I think so.
Let's find out what happens when suggestion
Let's
fails.
find out.
Bum, 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 bum.
Can't be charmed. You should have had advantage in that as well.
I don't
but she
believe
doesn't
it
need
specifies. However, she would.
Yeah,
see that it
suggestion
casts
is not
something.
friends. Yeah. Suggestion is
Yeah.
not friends, so it doesn't automatically fail and blow up in my face. But it just doesn't work as far as I can tell.
Yeah. You already owe me 3 weeks of latrine duty. What? Why did you even take the job? Most people lay low when they start out. You're just being an absolute shit show. I will
You know
report
me,
you.
Darian, so useless. And then he'll like trudge in.
Before we go,
She's still
looking
sort
at
of
this map, have you
tirading
had
after you.
any instances of founding graves dug up or disturbed?
Oh yeah, that happens every now and then, but we just think it's the ghouls.
Oh,
You have that in your, and you look at the pamphlet that she's pointing in as well, and
Yes.
there is, it's almost like a little wildlife park sort of situation. When you meet our giraffes, make sure you don't wear anything that can slobber on, things like that, because in this case it's about important. In case of wandering undead, please remain calm and remove yourself quickly from their line of vision. Ghosts are harmless and slow. In case of wandering ghouls and other carrion, we advise not to approach the wildlife. In case you see a large direwolf roaming, don't worry. That's just Bobby. He's friendly. Feel free to feed him a snack. And they
can
tell
we
you...
feed him Darian? I'm just joking.
Dido loves this, and Dido is giving you a wink, and yeah, she's like, you're my favorite.
Probably wouldn't even be good at being food.
Don't try the guilt tripping.
Well, there's only one way to find out now, isn't there?
Oh, cheer up, Darian. I'm sure you're going to prove yourself and do such a great job leading us all through this graveyard, right?
More.
Just make sure you grab a map and ask about the color again, because I've already forgotten since I'm Darian and super useless.
Yellow zone, right?
Yellow zone, yeah. It should be just south from here. Past the bards, and yeah, after the bards, and there's a signpost. Left path there.
Very well. Thank you.
Welcome. Good luck. She's still glaring at Darian. The halfling guy on
Well,
the
Darian, after you.
falling asleep.
Come on, guys.
You're doing the guilt tripping really well, though.
This is so much fun, though. It was his idea, so now it's just like, all right.
It's true.
Remember that thing in Twitter chat was like, hey, you can pile on me. Like, I'm the butt of the joke. Give it to me. And now it's like, secret plan of guilt tripping and unraveling. Feeling bad now.
When the illusion plan doesn't work out, you gotta go with the other plan.
That's fair. So you're...
Well, that's one way to get a positive ID. Will points at Will's face.
Yeah, we know my name is Darian now, so that's half the plan.
Darian Drummond.
I think rather than drop the illusion, Will's gonna maintain it, at least for now.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep, that worked out, just not as you expected, exactly. So you're
That was
heading
exactly
into
as intended. No, that was like pretty much letter of the plan.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just like all D&D plans, it worked perfectly.
So you're heading through the still green zone of the of Grey Friars graveyard, and it is green actually. There is a sheer amount of large, tall chestnut trees that must have stood there for centuries, over beautiful monuments more so than simple gravestones. There are some simple ones, some where the names have completely fallen victim to, wind and weather. But some of the mausoleums still have these intricately carved skulls and memento mori. There's little winged cherubs, there's hourglasses, urns, veils, and it's beautiful. But the more you head into the graveyard, the darker it gets. More fog is reaching up to almost your knees at this point. You look around, and after half an hour of walking, you realize just how far away you are from the gate. You can still see it somewhat in the distance, see the main house of the Grey Friars where they live, the little cloister there. But looking around, there's almost no horizon. There's just graves. Graves, sometimes round mausoleums, sometimes almost like cages on the grass with a little placard of the person that died. Some of you will know, Mark, probably that's come up to your study, is that at a time when the Resurrectionist Guild were still called vile criminals when they didn't have a contract yet with the town, that is how people protected the graves of their loved ones. They would buy cages, not to keep the zombies in, but to keep the snatchers out. Some of the wealthier ones have the mausoleums for that, and some of the mausoleums aren't really proper buildings. They are a larger cage with stone walls, but again at the top just bars, steel bars. They're rusty at this point. Ivy and other shrubbery have grown large and overgrown some of the graves. Make me a perception roll, everyone.
That is Will's worst roll of the game so far.
So it is.
15 for Dorcas.
Nice. And Duncan has the highest.
Yep,
So
sorry,
William,
18.
you're still a little bit. I'm poor Darian, and I'm guessing Dorcas is like, shut up now. We're in now. Nobody's here. Like, oh, I'm poor Darian. You're still a little bit distracted. Marcus trying to keep the peace feels a little bit uncomfortable with the squabbling. Duncan, you're the one going, guys, because you see something shambling in the distance. You see
How far away is it?
Something walking closer, still far away, 80, 90 feet. Very slowly, very broken is the walk of this creature, and you can see it as one of those zombies that are so handily illustrated in the map with a couple of, fun little arrows saying, are they walking funny? Do they smell weird? Are limbs missing? That's a zombie. Careful, those undead people will eat you if you're getting too close. Luckily, they cannot run very fast.
Yeah, I feel like Duncan's always like low key on watch, but since we've come in here, he is like very actively, obviously keeping watch, and he sees this. He's gonna reach down and like get a bit of moss and rub it on a stone, and cast light, saying a quick prayer, and then he's just gonna like flick the stone off in a direction where the zombie can see it moving.
It's not a sort of keeping zombies away sort of light, right? Or you're not using
No, it's just seeing if he can
Okay.
distract it or draw its attention to a spot, and then just say, I recommend we just move on as quickly as reasonable.
Yeah, the zombie is following the light. Does not seem incredibly smart or incredibly eager to run up at you and eat you. It's just having a nice little walk. Who are we to judge it?
You don't see that every day. Well, I guess you do.
I think we're going to see that multiple times in this day.
Make up for all of the other days we didn't see it every day.
And in fact, as you now reach an area that is starting to turn into the yellow zone, there's more of them popping up every now and then. At some point, you see what is only really a torso trying to move itself. It's a bit pathetic. You look around, and at that point, one of the arms breaks off.
Ew.
And it keeps going with the other arm and with what's left. The
That'll
elbow.
happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a leg up or two.
Oh.
You also start hearing fairly un-zombie-like noises. Something slightly more active. Actual words. You foul fiend. Invader. Honor. And you hear the clinging of swords on armor. You hear battle. Duel, perhaps?
We should probably go check that out, but just in case, you know what? I have a plan. Listen carefully. And then as he says that, he's going to cast invisibility on himself and then go towards the noise.
Well, it's going to be real fun explaining what became of Darien when we get back to the front of the graveyard at the end of all this.
2 gold.
It just blinked out of existence and ran off into the undead. We tried to stop him. We tried.
We did. Mork is going to pull out his fish food whiskey and put 1 drop in Magic's fishbowl and then take a swig himself and put it away.
You feel a little bit of bravery seeping into your body. The fish, you put it into the fishbowl as well?
Just a little bit, tiny bit.
Just a little bit. Magic is loving it. Magic is definitely swimming up. Well, can he swim as a huge carp in a tiny fishbowl? He's moving around.
He can turn around. There's like enough room for him to turn around and pay attention to what's happening.
SSPCA will have us. He's
it's okay. When I dismiss him to an extra-dimensional space, he has as much room to swim as he wants.
That's fair. It's like his window to the world. Yeah. So he's trying to that's a thing I did on camera. To get as much whiskey as possible. And you can hear him bonk against the glassy once more.
Boom, boom. Okay, we can do this. And Mork's gonna start sloshing over that direction.
Okay. William, are you heading towards the battle
the duel
sounds?
Or whatever it is? Yeah. Basically, just want to take a peek and see if it's something we even need to worry about or not.
Mm-hmm. So you're heading on. You're focused on that sound. You're at the same time focused on making not much noise yourself. By the way, roll me a stealth check if you're doing it quietly.
What do I have to? Oh, I actually have a +4 to stealth. That's a plus. 12.
12. Oh, it's not so bad. You do hear some other noises mixed in with the battle as well. Every now and then, just behind your shoulder, you hear a strange wailing sound. You turn around, and out of the corner of your eye, you can see a specter floating. Just for a second, as soon as you look at it directly, it's gone. You see an old woman wailing at the grave of, you assume, either her own or one of her loved ones. You see a peasant dressed in shambles, in rags, trying to run away, screaming for help. You see a little child out of the corner of your eye, standing, looking lost, screaming for her parents. You see all these little visions, but they're just specks. They're just moments in time. None of these specters seem to see you until you reach an area that has 2 large mausoleums almost opposite each other, and 2 family names you don't recognize, but in between there are 2 fighters dressed in fairly old-fashioned armor. You wouldn't recognize the sort of style from soldiers around the keep. They seem to ignore everything else around them. They are locked in combat. Crude furs and leathers on the woman's body, longish elven ears. The man has a large red beard, almost as ginger as yourself. You have the feeling, because the colors are a little bit washed out, but every time they clash, they come into being, they come into existence. They seem real for a moment, and then when they move away from each other again, circling each other, they seem to half vanish. And every now and then you hear those words, "I will destroy you for honor, dog. Like a dog, I shall beat you down, and they do not like each other.
Oh, well, this is not what I was expecting. Is there any place that looks like half decently covered from these people? Like anything I could duck behind, a tall gravestone, anything like that?
You look around, and yes, there is a large memorial to what you assume to be one of the bards, half-elven, little lute, very sly little smile on his face. You cannot read the name, but it's big enough for people to hide behind, and there's actually someone hiding there already. A girl.
What does this person look like? A girl.
A young, elven, clearly elven girl, dressed in a very fancy little dress, and half transparent.
You said there's no name on the tombstone that I can read?
No. She's just sitting there peering out, watching the fight.
Will tiptoe close-ish to this person, but like not within arm's reach. And then, who dares hide behind my gravestone?
And she shrieks, and she runs away and runs through one of the other gravestones, and then peers out from above, looking around, seeing nobody.
I can still totally see you because I'm a ghost and stuff.
Where are you?
Listen.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Cool.
I do that. People don't do that to me. Where are you? And she's relaxing a little bit because when you say ghost, that doesn't scare her. She just got, jump scares are always scary. Come out. This is not fair. Is that you?
I'm like discorporeal. I'm everywhere. I can't come out. What are you doing here?
No, of course you can come out. I can come out.
What?
Come on, we can be friends. We can scare people together. Are you new here? When did you die?
Recently. About
she
when this conversation started.
She runs a little circle around the Bard's monument, and she looks around. No, that's not working. How did you run into one of those zombos?
Yes.
Did you get eaten? Did you get eaten by Bobby?
Which one is Bob?
The big wolf?
Definitely.
I don't believe you.
Alright, shit. And then Will's gonna drop the invisibility.
She shrieks again. And this time genuinely hides, but agrees, "You're a ghost, Joel! You're a filthy liar!"
Which is worse? I mean, you decide. But first of all, what are you doing here?
Peeks out. I live here. Well, live here?
What? This is not a place for kids to live. Wait, what do you mean live? When you say air quotes live, are you alive or not so much?
She walks through the gravestone again.
Right. I should have been paying attention to that.
Holds out her hand. Hi, I'm Jemima.
I'm Will. And he'll like put his hand like beside hers and then like move it up and down.
She grabs it and grabs through it 3 times. I keep doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen.
What are you doing here? Are you a monk?
No. I'm a guard, apparently.
What are you guarding?
And, you? From
that's...
danger?
Did Daddy send you? Are my guards dead now?
The other guards are probably dead. Especially that Darian guy here. He's the worst. So, you know what? Actually, there are more guards here because a bunch of us came to make sure that you're safe. Do you maybe want to go and meet them and we can just like talk or something?
Okay. Yeah. And guys, you would have heard that shriek at some point because she wasn't quiet. It was the shriek of a little girl. For all you know, it was William, but that was the shriek of a little girl.
Well, looks like Darian's in trouble again.
Sounds
we go
like
get him
someone
out
we
of this
should
mess?
look into.
Probably.
We should be careful though. Let's go see what he got into.
All right. I will just draw the large axe that has Bruce's name hand carved into the handle, and I'll just have it ready just in case.
Duncan's gonna let his robe sleeves just fall over and conceal his hands so his hands can't be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Turn to Mork and say, I'm just saying, you're doing dishes next week. That's all you need to wager. And then just continue on.
Your sort of information ready for a fight closing in when William and a little ghost girl come up to you, walking, chatting. She's like, so, and then I was invited to the king, and then I had a play date with the king's son, and then I died.
What?
That's rough. Kids' sons will do that too. Hey everybody, this is my friend.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, little girl.
I'm Jemima.
Nice to meet you. I'm Dorcas.
Hello.
This is Mork and Duncan.
You're very
Hi.
green.
And yes, I was
That
born
is
this way.
cool.
My mom was very green, but it was somewhat neoned by my dad. He's very blonde.
And enthusiastic.
And you're orange. You're both orange. That's a cool color. My handmaiden had orange hair as well. But no orange skin though. That's new.
Sorry.
Fishy! And she runs up to the bowl.
You haven't happened to
Starts
see anybody else in the graveyard, have you?
Yeah, there's a
Of the
lot.
corporeal sort?
Oh,
A couple of live ones. We're looking for
Yeah.
an old lady and a little boy, maybe.
oh yeah. I see them every now and then. I sometimes like to scare them because it's funny. One time, I just put my head out through one of the gravestones, so it looked like it was only a head, and then I turned around, so it looked like my head was turning around as well, and they fell over.
Yep, definitely sound like live ones. Has it been very long since you last saw them?
Well, the granny, and I mean, I saw a granny, old woman, like she was like really old, like 30 or something, and she had a kid.
Ouch.
I am 33. I hurt myself here, but
Oh, hurting us all.
yeah.
Nah.
But I mean, what she had, like the kid was a lot older than me. Is that her grandson? Like he was
Maybe.
almost just as old as you. And she points at William.
Mork, can you read the thoughts of somebody who is not necessarily alive?
He pulls out his spell book and starts paging through it. His Nat's gonna check this fucking spell.
While he's checking, Duncan, have you seen anyone else come into the graveyard recently? Maybe digging up graves?
Oh yeah, they're funny. They don't get scared really. Well, some of the younger ones. But sometimes they bring me sweets, and I can't eat them. But when I put them in my mouth, I think I can remember what they tasted like, and they have conversations with me. Sometimes they tell me to fork off. What does that mean?
Oh, it's a, they just want you to go eat something. So where
Preferably
do
your
they usually
vegetables.
Well, that's the one good thing about being dead. I can't eat my vegetables.
Come in? Where do they
That is
usually
nice.
come into the graveyard? Oh, sorry, Mork. Go ahead.
So the spell does work on any creature. Although, do you have an intelligence of 4 or greater and the ability to speak language?
It's not something usually you ask that directly, Mork.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
she's talking to us, so
You can't just
That's
ask
a
someone
1
their
out of 2.
intelligence score more. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry. I just he just holds his
No,
book.
it's fine.
It's all right,
It's fine.
Mork. It's all right.
I can-
It's all right.
I can speak 3 languages.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I get taught very much from my my parents. It's boring sometimes. I can stitch things as well. Not very good at it, but I can. And one day Mom says I'll get married to the king, and then I'll be a real queen.
And which king is
How'd
that
that go?
that you're getting married to? Remind me again.
Oh, Jacob II?
I'm
And
just
at this
Dorcas
point-
is just trying to
Yeah.
figure out how old this ghost is exactly.
Feels
What
like
king
a
was
history
she?
check moment.
Yup.
Everyone roll me a history check to see who gets it.
Okay. Let's see. Jacob the Second, eh? I've got an idea of who
Ooh.
this is as a player.
Oh, Will.
Nat 20.
I got a 14.
Someone paid attention in history class.
Oh, natural
Whoa.
20 plus 4. Ha 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 ha.
So William
Wow.
and Dorcas, you are the two that immediately like, whoa, hold on, hold the fuck up, because you haven't just heard of Jacob II. Pretty much everyone here has heard of Jacob II, but like that was a couple of centuries ago. He was one of the ancient kings of the land, and he was. That's what you two know, William and Dorcas. He was not exactly a happy child growing up. He was almost like a price, if you will, because he became king when he was only a kid himself. So the man who took care of him had a couple of his political enemies executed in fairly gruesome ways. And now that you hear Jacob II, Jemima McDougal, is that the black dinner we're talking about here, where the king had a couple of kids over for a play date and instead had them all kill? Not the king, by the way, that was just a kid, but you know, William
The
Crichton.
regent, essentially.
The
yeah.
regent, thank you, that's the name I couldn't think of.
Yep.
The regent, yeah, I'm like, oh, there's a word for it. The regent had all those kids just basically killed after that dinner. It was a scandal.
As it would be.
So
You
she
know,
must be
Jemima,
about 800
There
years
is
old at this
actually a modern prophet who goes by Beyoncé, and she has spoken at great lengths of the virtues of the unmarried woman, and frankly, seems more your energy.
Beyoncé. Okay. What? Okay. Beyoncé. I would look her up if I could. There's no libraries here.
It's
I know.
not important. So much as it is maintaining your independence and free-spiritedness on account of this.
That's. I can get behind that. I'm a survivor. Well, not really, but in spirit,
Oh.
In spirit.
literally.
Yes.
I can show you where I saw the old woman.
Please.
That would be wonderful.
Fantastic.
And then maybe afterwards you could show us where you saw the people who were digging up graves coming in?
Sure.
The ones who encouraged you to eat your vegetables.
Yeah. This way! We're going on an adventure! We're going on an adventure! And there you are heading onwards. Big white berth around the fighters, fighting specters, that the three of you haven't seen yet. You're like, what is that? And Mama's like, just ignore them. They've been at it for a couple of centuries. And she starts singing. She's quite loud. She's quite happy and boisterous. She chats a lot. So this is now the dangerous part of the graveyard. They did not really stay where they supposed to on the path. They actually came a little bit closer to the mausoleum that is guarded. Is cordoned off. I can't even go there because there's really dangerous stuff around.
Oh, really? What sort of dangerous stuff?
Yeah.
Dangerous like in general or like dangerous to spirits?
Well, all of it. some of the specters there, ghost thingies, they don't like people. Not all of them can't see people, but some of them don't. There was this really creepy woman that was floating around and screaming at people, and the people just fell over. That was really cool. Oh, and then there's that
I don't
guy.
know what that's like. Looks at Will.
Egg whites.
That
Egg
would
whites.
explain where the bottle came from.
Mm-hmm.
She points, you think, at Will when she says, and then there's that guy. It's not Will she's pointing at.
It's
Dun, dun, dun.
Darian, isn't it?
Will's gonna
not-
very slowly turn around.
It's not Darian she's pointing at either.
Oh shit.
It is a creature lumbering up behind William, much, much taller than any of you. A creature with completely white eyes, almost glowing and gleaming. Gaunt, again. You can see each and every rib, but it's not a zombie, it's not decay. It's just as if all the moisture of the life had been sucked out of that creature. Spindly legs. It reaches up to its full height. Spindly arms. Almost entirely too many of them. Like 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 6 arms, not actually ending in hands, ending in spikes. And as it tries to embrace William from behind, we're all rolling initiative because we forgot to do that, I think, at the beginning. Yeah. Yay, first initiative.
Oh boy. This is all fine. We're all fine here.
Yeah.
Everything's okay.
18 for me.
Oof. 9 for Dorcas.
Oof. 18 for Duncan. And what's your AC again?
Dorcas is 18. AC
Duncan has
and
a
9
14.
initiative.
14 AC. What was William?
Will got an 11 and has an 11 AC.
And where's Mark?
Mork also got an 11 on initiative, but he has 19 AC.
19 AC. Who's got the better dex, William or Mark?
I do by 1.
Sweet. And you said 19 AC?
Indeed.
Oof, that
Wow.
is one armored wizard.
Yeah.
Boo.
Engineer. Oh dear.
Whew.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about that one.
Yeah. Ignore that second roll for now.
What second roll?
Oh, nothing.
Oh.
Nothing.
There it is.
Don't worry about it. DM's not worried about it at all. It's probably totally fine.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never worried
Yeah.
about things I've been told to ignore. Not once, not ever.
It's only a dirty
So-
20. What could go wrong?
Absolutely nothing. She told us not to worry, right? Hmm?
I'm really glad that
Horrible death.
especially William
I'm not going to be
is
cleaning the barracks.
someone's got to clean you in the morgue. Especially William, that you were asking this, considering you're about to be embraced. So
I love hugs.
yeah, it's a great hug as well.
Are we within 30 feet of this thing trying to hug him?
Yeah, you're all fairly grouped up.
Huh.
Okay.
I have to assume that I am. Unless it's a very long hug. Unless it's a quarantine hug.
It has a good reach, but it's still in melee range.
Yes.
So can I use my reaction to use warding flare to impose disadvantage on this?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Mark that off.
So- Duncan's hand, his left hand in the pocket in his sleeve comes out, and it was like he's holding like a little mote of sunlight that he just throws in this thing's face as it goes for him.
And as you see those spiked arms about to reach down into William, you just instinctively, your hands come out from your robe where they were hidden before, and a bright light quickly illuminates the scene. Everyone tries and shield their eyes, and when you regain your sight, you see that thing still
Recommend running.
trying to shield its own eyes, still clawing at thin air. William managed to duck out of the embrace while the creature was distracted. It is your turn as well, Duncan. You have the upper hand still. You knew what was coming. The creature seems not too happy with the situation.
Oh boy. This seems like it's pretty serious. I am going to cast Scorching Ray. Because this thing seems like it needs some of the cleansing fire of Belenus. So, and I'm just going to go ahead and use that nat 20 I got.
Go for it.
And I'm going to create all 3 rays on this huggy undead thing that seems too friendly. So
there is such a thing as too friendly. Yeah, shoot it. Shoot it
so
good.
I'm going to be rolling. Hold on, let me pull up the dice roll because that's going to be 66. And ooh, 23 damage as I take out my out of my other hand I have the my symbol of Belenus, and fire just flies from it.
And
I
the fire
just say,
takes... Yeah, go for it.
I recommend running.
Yeah. And
I'm going to move my
takes
movement away
on
from this thing.
The 4 wings, just a flavor, it's 4 wings of Belenus that reach out towards the creature almost in a similar embrace as it tried to deliver to William. It burns, it screeches now in a frequency that hurts your ears. Mork, you're just recovering from that bright light. Now you're trying to recover from that unholy screech. Fight or flight, or both. It's your turn.
Mork is going to, he's holding magic, and he steals himself, and he takes a little sip of the fishbowl water, and drops magic on the ground, and strides up to this creature. And as he gets there, it's big and scary, and he's looking at me and goes, "In every heart, there is a room, a sanctuary safe and strong, and I will share." And he's going to use his ability to use hypnotic gaze. It needs to make a wisdom save.
It needs to make a wisdom save. I keep reaching for dice.
That's a mood. That's a whole mood.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a minus.
Big fan of that.
Not so much here. 7.
All right, it is charmed, incapacitated, and a movement speed of 0, as long as I keep using my action to keep maintaining this.
It listens to your song, and you can see the spiky arms dropping one by one. William, you ducked out of this embrace. You see Mork, tiny little Mork, sort of up before the tall creature, holding it with his will.
And Mork goes, and between the lyrics song goes, and don't hit it. I got it. It's problem solved.
Problem solved.
And I will share that
for how
heart
long?
with you, as long as I keep doing this.
Just
You
step
can't do
away,
that indefinitely,
Will. We need
Mark.
to get away from this thing.
I can do it for a while. I'll be okay.
Okay. William, you ducked out of the embrace. You see Mork doing it. You have an opening. Creatures.
I'll step over beside Mork, and I'm just gonna look at kind of like back and forth to him and be like, "This we can't. It's not. It's working, but it's not tenable. I think we just need to blow it up, and that's coming from me." And then he's gonna kind of basically like flourish his hand in front of him, and as he does, he's gonna leave behind 4 little motes of light. And then the motes of light are going to lengthen into these sort of polyhedral missiles. And then they're going to go fly into this thing's face as he casts Magic Missile at 3rd level.
Nice.
Ooh.
The missiles strike. How much damage do they do? Because
let's find out. Is there a way to roll multiple dice at once, or do I just roll them like one at a time?
if you do one and then
Pick
up
the
on
dice
your
and start
keyboard,
right-clicking.
or you can just roll 4d4. You can type in the /die 4d4.
4, 5. So altogether, yeah, because 3rd level. And then, so 2, 4, 8, 12, 13 plus 5 is 18 damage as these things slam into it.
Oof. Maths is hard. You see those magic missiles shooting almost through it, and one of them is actually managing to shoot off one of the arms, one of the spiked arms that lands at Mork's feet, still moving, still trying to claw at him. The creature shrieks again in pain. You all hear it. You all are slightly weirded out by it. And Dorcas, you feel the power of Bruce humming in your axe.
Dorcas, the magic stuff isn't working!
Put it to sleep.
You're the muted.
Nope.
You're muted.
Still muted, dear.
Can't hear you.
Okay, cool. I'm going to hold on to the battle axe, and I'm going to lift it up as the sort of like carved name of Bruce is glowing on the handle, and I'm gonna smash it down and just be like, "Go to sleep, you fool!" And I'm gonna try and turn the unholy. So it needs to make a wisdom save and beat a 13.
Beat a 13. Yeah, wisdom saves are a good call. $11. So 9, actually.
Yes! Okay, so it must spend its turn trying to move as far away from me as it can, and it can only take the dash action or dodge if there's nowhere else for it to move.
Sorry, what did you use again on this?
It's Turn the Unholy. It's my channel divinity for the Oath of Devotion.
Is that any creature, or is that specifically undead?
It is fiend and undead.
It is neither.
Oh no.
Oh yes,
Oopsie
you
poopsie.
have a little voice in your head that sounds like Tallulah Gart Captain saying the Shadowfell sometimes bleeds through. And you get a feeling this is not a spirit, this is not an undead creature, this is something entirely different you've never encountered before.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it is its turn. And there's this,
Sorry guys, that
Tiny
usually
little-
works.
it's fine.
I can't help but notice that it's not sleeping!
Well, I tried.
Is the hypnotic pattern, is that just, there's no saves for it?
So, hypnotic gaze ended when it
gaze.
took damage.
Yeah, so when
Oh.
the magic missiled, it's no longer
Right.
hypnotized.
Right. Good. Then I'm going to use my natural 20. Thanks, Frax.
I.e.
And it almost swallows up poor little Mork that is still standing right in front of it with its embrace. And that is a little bit of damage.
Are we okay? Probably
Hang
not.
on. As soon as it lunges at Mork, Will is going to panic and cast Shield on Mork, giving him a 24 AC.
Cool.
Can you do that on other
Use a
people?
nat 20.
An invisible barrier of force appears. Oh no, it is just me. Never mind.
Yeah. Also,
Yes.
it's a crit. The donation because
Yeah.
I'm using the yeah.
Yeah.
So
AC don't matter when it's a 20 on the die.
you're taking 25 damage.
What type of damage is this?
This is piercing damage, and you're
This
grappled.
is ouch damage. I
This is
take
killing
ouch
kind.
damage.
The killy kind.
You're grappled, so on your turn, which is hopefully soon, you can try and escape from that. But you're quite scared of this big thing coming a little bit too close. And yeah, there might be some additional damage coming from that, which is not everyone's biggest problem at the moment. Because what you didn't see is that there's some tiny little creatures that were in the fog while you were walking and while you were fighting, focused on this big dude. Tiny little creatures that you can now hear with clacking teeth, clacking feet, running around and attacking you from underneath, biting your legs. We're having... Thank you. Let's say who did damage. William? 2 are trying to
Yes.
attack you.
Oh no.
And Duncan,
Yep.
1 is trying to attack you. So...
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Oof. Oh, the dice are not in your favor today. All of them hit. The first 2 on William, I said one of them is a natural 20. The third one on Duncan still hits as well. But they don't do as much damage, if that is of any consolation.
It is, actually.
So how much damage am I taking here?
So that is for William, 13.
Oof. William is unconscious.
Oh.
How much do you have? My God.
I only had 11 health points, like maximum 22, and then I burned 1 hit die, but I got a 1, so I was at 12.
Oh
Right.
my gosh.
That bet came to pass much quicker than we thought. As this wretched
There goes my
creature...
10 gold. Because Duncan's ahead of me in the initiative order. Damn it.
As William falls over, you can hear the thunk as he hits the ground. Little Jemima, who was hiding behind a gravestone, is going, "Oh no, William!" And the other 2,
Yeah.
or the other 1 attacking Duncan, that was an 11 damage.
All right.
Duncan, it is your turn as well, as you notice that one of those creatures is literally fused to your leg. You can still feel the pain of a lot of little sharp teeth piercing your skin. You hear the clack, clack, clack of the little legs. As you lift your leg, you can see it. It looks creepy, like a weird, just flesh shape. It is all maw, like a leech, but it has those little legs as well. Big, bulbous black eyes. It is not pretty.
All right, I'm going to reach down and grab a knife off my belt and just try to like drive the point down into it. And I don't actually need. I'm like reflexively reaching for my real dice, and I need to remember there's an actual roller here for me. All right, stabbing at it. Oh my goodness, that's not great. 7.
Oof.
7 does not hit, I'm afraid. You try and stab, but it's still in the fog. You can't reach it.
Well, I'll make myself feel better with a bonus action.
Mhm.
I'm going to look over at Dorcas and say, "Looks like you're cleaning the barracks," and cast Healing Word at 3rd level at William over there. So let's see. And what's my modifier? Sorry. There we go. All right, rolling my healing. He regains 11 hit points.
11 hit
I
points,
say-
that's how many you had.
Sorry,
The-
son, but
Creatures are still attached as you come
your work
back
isn't
to
quite done
consciousness.
today.
And you hear those slightly scolding words of Duncan.
Oh my god, it's still happening. I thought this was a dream.
We're having Duncan Mork. Oof, Mork. Make me, make me an athletics or acrobatics check, whatever's better. Unless you have anything like Misty Step or something.
I intend to do something much better than that.
Please do, because you will die if you don't.
So Mork is going to you hear echoing out of this thing's belly the things that you might have done, darling. Only the good die young. And he's going to cast a blink on himself.
Nice.
Nice.
And I disappear into the ethereal plane until my next turn.
All see the creature stumbling forward a little bit, and there's a confused which is not the
My
creepiest
lunch
sound
disappeared.
it could make. Yeah. And Jemima from the back goes, "Yeah, you go, you kick its butt." And she actually, and this is going to be the boon you got from the 20 retweets from chat. She actually runs up to William, who she considers a good friend at this point because they had a really nice conversation. Goes, William, please don't die, please don't die, please don't die. And she
I'm trying super hard not to.
You saw she wasn't able to grasp anything. She couldn't take your hand. She couldn't hold on really to the gravestone. But with the sheer force of will, you can see her hands becoming corporeal as she snatches one of those wretched creatures from your leg, takes a good chunk out of it, and you do take a little bit of damage for that. But it's only 2 points of damage as she throws that creature away, and you only have one of those creatures attached to you, still sucking your blood.
I have a lot of questions, but we're gonna save them for later.
Yeah, I did the thing, and it is your turn as Jemima's like super excited next to you.
Like my turn?
Yeah, after Mark.
Okay.
It's William's turn.
Yeah, and I've still got one of these things on me.
You do still have one of them on you.
I'm trying to think here, because I'm an illusionist. I don't do this. Okay. Can I just grab it with both hands and then like, you know what? Actually, I don't want to grab it with both hands. I don't want to electrocute myself. I'm gonna like put my fingers up underneath its belly, and then Will is gonna be like, okay. I have one thing. Just think back to evocation school. This is fine. And then I'm gonna channel like every bit of power that is not illusion magic into it, and then shocking grasp through this thing.
You cast. I think it's a melee attack spell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oof, that's only a 13.
It's not quite enough. You're not quite sure. Maybe you're scared of electrocuting yourself, or maybe you underestimated that fleshy little thing. It is creepy to touch. Like as you try and grasp at it, your hands sink into its fleshy body. It's gruesome.
This is incredibly gross.
It is. And Dorcas, as you can see, William is back up, and you do have the voice of Duncan in your head that you're now cleaning the barracks, but hey, as long as William's fine. Still grappling with one of those things, though. Mork seems to be okay.
Okay. So William's still grappling with the little goober thingamabob. I'm just gonna hold up my axe and shout out, "Hold still, I don't want to take your leg off by mistake," and I'm gonna swing my axe at the thing that is biting into him for my first attack. So. And... Oh, I didn't hit roll. Sorry. In the heat of the moment. Oh dear. That was a 10.
We all went there.
Yeah. A 10 to hit?
Does that hit?
I'm afraid not. No, you also slightly worried of taking his leg off. Just
alright. I'll try it again.
Go for it.
Oh no. A natural 1, so it's a 9.
We're not
Listen,
doing
that is a
it.
careful.
really,
Too
really big
careful.
axe, and I have a lot of blood inside this leg, and you're freaking me out.
That was really bad luck. Oh well.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're not
that's it
doing
for
crit
me.
fails unless
Thank God.
that donation
I mean,
that just
thank
came
Ruth.
in was, you know. Oh, someone would. Yeah. Okay, so 1 2-sided guy. Let us know who you want to give that crit to. Me, so I can kill them.
12-sided
better,
guy.
or my lovely folks here.
Oh my.
Is there anything else you can do, Darkhouse?
Nope. I think I'm just gonna stay there and try not to chop off William's leg next
That's
round.
a good shout. That's a good
I
shout.
really
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's
And I just
that
Stick
means a lot to
nearby
me.
and. Mm-hmm.
So we have the big scary guy wanting more hugs because it didn't get a hug, and it's very, very sad about that. Mark is still in the ethereal plane.
Oh,
There's
the magic is still out there.
the magic. Yeah, the magic lives on.
The
William
magic
and
part.
Dorcas are busy, I guess. Magic, the carp. Yeah, no, that doesn't look like a good meal. It's
So tasty though.
It's once a real hug from a person with hands, big, glowy hands. A very nice old-looking man who seems to have these really, really good hug capabilities, like Duncan, right? So it shambles up to Duncan and tries to embrace you. I unfortunately have no more crits left, but
I fortunately
Oh no!
have
What a shame.
warning
Unfortunately,
fire
is
dust,
the-
so I'm gonna throw a little hand of flash in his face again for disadvantage.
and that is that is a good thing. Disadvantage to 10, so that probably doesn't hit you. As it tries to hug you, you again flash that orb flare and duck out of the way. You end up behind the creature, and it looks around. It again gives this really heart-wrenching scream of pain and sadness. It just wants a hug. And next to William, those tiny little creature, or actually, you still have a tiny little creature on your leg as well, don't you, Duncan?
I do.
Yeah. But you take damage at the beginning of the creature's turn.
Nice.
Oh, did I just mess that up? Why am I not in the thing? So for Duncan, it's 5 damage. And the one that's still on William sucks about 6 damage worth out of your leg. It's starting to look quite red and a little bit inflamed. It's necrotic damage as well.
I am feeling a lot woozy over here.
The third one that Jemima threw off is scuttling off into the distance. Thanks, chat. And it is back to Duncan, I think. Or, yeah, it's back to Duncan. You still have that thing attached.
I've got the thing on my leg, and the guy just tried to give me a really nice warm hug, and I kind of like stepped out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like, "Sorry, son, it's not much of a hugger," and I give it a little like pat on the shoulder, and I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds at 2nd level.
Stylish.
So I got to roll an attack. 6. There we go. That's an 18.
Yeah, that will do it. You see the creature
All right.
flinch under your touch as necrotic energy surges out and through it.
19 necrotic damage.
19 necrotic damage. Ooh, it is faltering. It is faltering.
Now, are
You
these
can-
things on me? Are these things on me? Holding me in place. The thing on my foot.
No, they just move with you. They're small and they're attached to you like leeches, but they're not holding you in place.
They're toddlers, you could say. They
I'm
grab
gonna
onto
stay
your
where I
leg
am.
and ride.
With lots of really, really horrible teeth, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna stay where I am. So.
Mork, from the ethereal plane, you can roughly see what's happening. You can see William getting woozy, trying to prop himself up. You can see Dorcas next to him trying to help. You see Duncan seems to have it covered.
I'm going to pop into existence with a little boop. And he's gonna shoot a scorching ray at the big one.
Scorching ray at the big one. Yes, go for it.
That's a few attack rolls. Huh.
Aw, Frax, thanks for the other crit. It's so nice to be on this side of Frax's donations for once. And thanks for the crit for Anna as well. Whew.
Yes,
Right.
thank you.
Die.
24, 18, and 11.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't catch that for a second.
Those are the scorching ray attacks. 24, 18, and 11.
11 won't hit. The others do.
Cool. Of course I go to reach for real dice because
We're so
why
conditioned.
wouldn't I? Huh. That is 10. Very respectable 10 fire damage.
And you burn off 2 more hands. As you can see, the creature is almost falling onto its knee. It's screaming in pain, and you almost feel a little bit sad for it. It doesn't seem to be aggressive in an I will kill you way. It reaches out as it falters. It tries and finds some form of contact.
Now, Magic, my little
Yes.
fish, is going to try to catch the eye of one of these little leech things.
Yeah?
Presumably, ideally one of them on Will.
Will is a little bit further away, but you could get the one
And-
for Duncan.
Alright, it's going to try to just like hypnotoad eyes it.
Gotta do that? Is that
Try to
like a...
distract. Oh, it's taking the help action, which you can do by being within 5 feet of it.
Sweet. Yeah, within 5 feet, you
try-
only
so-
have Duncan.
So Duncan can try to get that thing off it.
Yeah. Does that give Duncan advantage or the beast disadvantage? How does that work again?
Duncan advantage on the next thing he does to it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Or if someone else
You
hits it, actually.
Yeah. If you want to attack it or if you want to just rip it off, you can do that. And after Mork,
And
it is
then Mork
William's
disappears.
back into the ethereal plane. And after Mork, William, you're propping yourself up. You still have that wretched thing on your leg. Dorca's next to you.
Oh my god.
You're losing blood fast.
Will's gonna just like point a finger gun at it and then magic missile it.
Sweet. Magic finger
So
guns.
Yeah. So, that didn't work out. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Oh wow, that's actually decent. That's a total of 13 damage. First level magic missile.
Evaporate the wretched thing. It just completely turns into smoke. You cough a little,
Nice.
but it's gone.
I
Anything?
don't like this place very much. And I'm gonna like stagger my way over to Duncan and like lean on him.
And it's just like
staggering.
looking at Will just knocking into me while this thing's right in front of me. Like,
Oh, he's pretty.
I think that Ron idea was maybe a good idea. Jemima says from her hiding spot.
Yeah, you can
Dark-
say that with all your blood. Oh, I'm sorry.
Dorcas, the creature, the lost creature, crying and whimpering on the floor, is looking super low. Bruce is whispering in your ear, "This is your glory. This is your fame. Kill it. Send it back to the hells." Ah! And you hear the
Alright.
battle cry of 1,000 soldiers.
And I'm just gonna be like, "No, Bruce, this is your glory!" And I'm gonna use my natural 20 for a 28 to just smack it. And because why the heck not, let's also Wrathful Smite it.
Woo!
So
Oh, the
much
good
glory
feelings
in
overkill.
just one hit. Okay. Let's see. So the axe will do 11 damage. And the smite will put an extra 2. So it's a total of 13.
You bring your... Is it an axe? What are you wearing? Or
Yes, it is a large battle axe.
Nice.
It's a
You
double
bring
axe.
your battle axe
Oh, I need to
down.
double that.
Yeah, great. Crit.
So I'd
think I
roll
did
another
crit.
d10.
Ah, I didn't do the crit damage earlier, Mark. Well,
So that'd be, wow,
That was
13
uncrit
plus
damage?
17?
yeah, 40 10.
So it's
That's double the
normal.
smite
30
dice, too.
damage.
It's
double
even more-
everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Double everything.
Oh.
What is it in total?
Oh boy, oh my gosh, I never do
not
this.
the modifier yet, yeah, but all this,
Yeah.
the rolls.
Okay. 34.
34. It had 5 hit points left. So you can roughly imagine just how pulverized this thing is getting. As you bring down the battle axe, you start into a frenzied battle maneuver that first takes down the remaining 2 arms. It wheels back up and starts thrashing around, starts crying, and you slash it the abdomen. A couple of weird smoky swirly streams start to fall out. It smells gruesome, as with a last cut you take off its head and it evaporates into smoke. We still have... That's a little bit terrifying for everyone else, but it was effective. And for just a tiny brief moment, the clouds part in this ever twilighted place, and you see, let's go full Scotland. You see a white cross on a blue sky just for a moment before the Shadowfell takes back what it is rightfully its. We still have Duncan, I think, with the wretched little creature at
I've still got the
its
little mini thing on me, yeah.
leg, and it is your turn.
I'm just going to hold my hand down, palm open, almost like I'm holding it out to give it something. I say, a gift from the Lightbringer, and I'm going to cast Sacred Flame at it. So it needs me to make a dexterity saving throw at 14.
Dex. That's exactly what it gets.
Oh no! All right, I
It
missed.
doesn't take any damage that way, I think. So
Nope,
as
cantrips.
you cast the Sacred Flame, you feel like the Holy Fire isn't doing much in this case. You hear the teeth grinding down to your bone at this point.
I'm gonna spend my movement just shaking my leg, trying to get rid of it.
Keep in mind, you got advantage from magic. You can roll again.
Oh, it's a saving
Or-
throw.
Oh yeah, it was true. Well, you
Oh.
All this
take-
shaking is making you a very bad person to lean on.
You take 10 damage, almost max damage, from that necrotic bite that is still festering. William,
Ow.
you notice... Oh, sorry, Mork's turn first. Mork, you notice that Duncan is still having problems?
Yeah. So Mork is cheering in the ethereal plane because the big thing died, and as he reappears, a little pop goes, "Yeah!" Sorry. And then he goes, looks at the little thing, goes, "Don't you know working too hard will give you a heart attack?" And he's gonna cast Toll the Dead on it.
Oof, yeah. I don't think it's been damaged before.
It hasn't. I've missed everything on it.
Yeah,
That's okay. That's the cantrip I have to attack with.
I don't have many hit points, so you might just do it.
Wisdom save.
Oh. Yeah, let me know if I need to roll something. Die. -2. Yeah, no. 7.
The mighty 1d8. Huh. 8!
Max damage. It's still hanging on to it, but you shoot half of its body off. It's like ticking off tick and the head stays in. Yeah,
That's
yeah, I
gonna
had
get
dark
rejected.
hats.
And then Mork's gonna run over and pick up magic again. She's like,
Yeah.
it's okay, boy. And then he
Magic
disappears in the ethereal plane, and magic falls again.
Before you disappear, Magic reaches out one of his fins for a high five for defeating the creature. Yeah. And then it drops to the floor and half falls out. You could almost imagine hearing a sigh from the fish because he's used to it. After Mark William, there's Duncan just sort of still dancing around you. You're not quite sure what is going on. The blood loss is quite strong, but oh yeah, you've had one of those.
Oh god, it's one of these things. Hang on. And then Will's like very shakily like pointing his finger gun magic missile at it, and then he'll fire off the magic missile.
A little higher.
So that's 13 again.
And as the missiles hit the creature, they also start cauterizing the wound. You feel heat, and it is painful for a moment, Duncan. But at least you get the sensation that it stops the bleeding as the creature is literally burnt away from your body. Jemima comes running around from behind her gravestone. Yeah, you did it! You did it, guys! I'm so proud of you! I'm so proud of you! That was amazing! Did you see? I actually touched the thing! I touched the thing!
That was very
did.
good.
Very helpful, yes.
That went so
that.
well. It was amazing.
I'm gonna put a hand on William's shoulder and just say, Belenas provides the what we need, and we'll cast Cure Wounds at first level. And then he's gonna hold the other hand out to Dorcas, and just like little fingers, like
1, 2, 3. Just count out 10 gold. Hand it over to Duncan. You win this time, but never again.
Did you guys like make a bet on who was gonna do the least damage to the giant monster or something? What?
something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
That would be that would if
Ooh,
that was the
that's
bet, it would actually be, disappears.
Oh wow.
Well, I really think that regardless of the outcome, William is really the one who lost here. So.
I don't fully understand, but I feel like I agree.
Don't worry.
Du-
You will.
Dorcas, he hands you just one slip of paper that just says cleaning barracks.
Yep.
This is yours.
I'll have fun with that. Thanks.
Mork is still trying to appear and blinks back in and out of existence.
With more
Blink
disappearing
doesn't
and
have
reappearing in the
concentration,
background.
so I can't end it voluntarily. It just keeps going for the 1 minute duration. So eventually, I stop disappearing and Mork puts his hands on his knees and
Just
breathes
like-
heavily.
That was so much fun. Let's do it again. I know where.
I haven't-
Oh, we can get.
Let's not.
There's a really scary ghost over there. He doesn't like being called a name that I often call him and then run away. But we could do that, and we could kick his ass.
Let's save that for next time we hang out. Because I am bleeding a lot.
Yeah, you
Same.
are.
Still?
Well, and then Will's gonna like gesture down his like blood-stained robes. I guess it's hard to tell like what's old blood and what's current blood, but there is blood. And then he's gonna like
you need?
prestidigitize himself slightly cleaner.
I was gonna say, do you need
also
to be healed anymore? You know, infection is a very serious problem in addition to blood loss. I just want to make sure that like you're okay.
I'll
Do you need to be healed? Are you okay?
I think I'll be alright. Do we still have those healing potions? Because like I could use a little pick me
you
up
do.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can just. You got what?
You got 3
I have some.
from.
I have some hands to lay on some people. So basically, just
I
asking.
love that phrase. I have some hands to lay on
well,
some people.
Who wants a high five?
I got eaten a little bit, and this big gash in his breastplate, just float
Wants a
open
hug.
and just pouring blood out. I hurt.
We all are a little worse for wear at the moment. So
Okay. Why don't
Perhaps
everybody?
if we
Yes.
hand out some of those health potions and high fives.
Yeah. Why don't we high five of healing? Everybody can get 5 hit points from high fiving Dorcas, because that's how that works. 1 for each finger.
You know, if you need a rest, if you need to like sit down a little, the mausoleum is just there. And she points at the beautiful round mausoleum that she was about to show you when the thing appeared.
Is that
Still
it-
can still good. I was just gonna say, still take the high five, just in case there's something in there, just in case.
Do you want me
Oh,
to
I'm
check
taking
it
that
out?
high five.
I'm now part of the gang.
I took
I
one.
can look at it.
You're maybe the leader right now. So
Yeah.
if you
Maybe
want to
you
go
should-
first,
You stay safe, you
Yeah.
measly mortals. I will do this for you. And she heads over
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
just runs through the stone door.
That's
And then you
so
hear-
weird when she does that. Mhm.
Silence.
I hope it's
She comes
unlocked.
There is, I say stone wall because the door itself is a gate, which is closed but can be opened.
Right.
And then she comes back and she's like,
you look like you've seen a goat.
"Hey,
What's up?
hey, there's a dead guy in there. I think.
That's the general idea, isn't it?
yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it
but not
like-
in the sarcophagus.
dead and wants to kill us,
Oh.
or dead and asleep dead?
Well, I tried to
recently,
prod him a little, but I couldn't do that again. I don't know why, but he wasn't moving, and I don't think he's breathing. And he's
So
also
like
he
It's
also.
like a regular dead guy.
I mean, when you have like a dagger here, and there's blood that's dead red, yeah, that's
Like
dead.
a pretty new
Yeah.
dead guy. Like he's new at it.
Like he's
He-
been killed. It's an investigation.
I can
call
go
Darian.
in and
I mean-
check it out.
Not that guy. He's the worst.
He always loses at rock, paper, scissors. I mean, who does that?
You're heading up to the gate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at full hit points, more or less. I'll go
I
I will let
see that
investigate.
Dorcas go
mausoleum.
first.
As you compare it to the map as well, Duncan, I'm assuming is sort of keeping an eye on that. It is in the red
Mhm.
zone. It is.
Oh,
The map is telling you that this is the mausoleum of one Brienne Williams and her lovely wife Shoshana Anmut, who were powerful necromancers and woven she.
oh no.
That's less than great.
And that is the reason this is in the red zone. There is, now that you look around, you can also see smaller monuments and statuettes placed around almost like wards.
Yep.
They say for mere mortals, the grave is mostly safe to visit, but not to linger for too long. And they advise not to go inside. And certainly not to show any disrespect.
Well, good thing we are not mere mortals. We are guards.
Make me...
I'm.
Indeed.
yeah.
I feel pretty mortal right now.
Yeah, same.
Mark, are you getting any big like spooky necromancer-y vibes from this?
Yeah, but I get scary vibes from most things, including
Okay.
you. So
Yep.
not the best sign. I could divine if it's a good idea to go in there with magic.
Well, I feel like it's probably going to be the answer is that it's not a good idea, and that's going to make it suck even more when we go in anyway. So
Well,
maybe
and if there's somebody that's recently dead in there, we could just go and investigate it a wee little bit.
Mark.
We could.
Are you doing your sense undead, divine sense, or what it's called?
Yeah. Sorry, I've never
Oh,
played
yeah.
a paladin before, so I kind of forgot that I had that. Let's go ahead and sense some undead within 60 feet of me, not behind total cover.
You gotta go to the gate, I guess.
Oh, do we want to open the door then? so that you can get the sense
No,
in there.
I'll just get close to the gate and maybe like stick in a finger and be like,
Dip your
does
toe
my
into the
finger
undead.
sense, like, you know when you lick your finger and you
Yeah.
check for the wind? I'm just checking for the wind of the grave chill breeze.
That's perfect. And you don't sense a person or being. No ghosts, no specters, no zombies, no Bobanshee or vampires.
Okay.
You do sense two objects that have some necromantic energy to it. But nothing that you need to be scared of directly. Seems safe enough. Jemima's walking past you. What's wrong? Oh, you do sense Jemima, by the way. Going inside. It's fine. He's just over there.
Is the gate open?
It is. You were completely expecting for the gate to, to have to use your thieves' tools again, but someone was there first. Someone beat you to it. And
That's
as you
odd. These older
slowly
locks are difficult to get open.
yeah.
Push it open.
Well, yeah.
As you-
Yeah, it doesn't seem like any immediate danger, but we should probably proceed cautiously. So be
Who's gonna check the
careful,
body?
but I think we can go in.
Who's gonna check the body?
I'll do it. I have medicine.
You roll the body over, which is sort of slumped on its side, and you see Jemima wasn't lying. There is a simple dagger stuck in his chest. Eyes open in surprise. This person is wearing the robes of a student of necromancy.
Is it, oh, what's his name? My memory is failing me.
You have
Dalvin
found
Rimple.
the body of
Rimple
Dalvin
kid.
Rimple. And this is where we're ending today's session.
Oh, the plot thickens.
Nicely done.
The plot thinnens.
The thick plottins. Ah, yes.
The thought clickens? We're running out of
very
combinations here.
We're all very eloquent beings. Yes, yes.
Yes.
I didn't die.
All right.
Huzzah.
I hope you
Yay!
enjoyed that first big combat. That I think
Did we
went
survive the lonely?
well. You'd survive the lost and the
The
wretched.
lost. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's
yeah.
oh boy.
Yeah, that crit I think it's a good thing I completely forgot to actually crit the dice because
Yeah.
that would have been 4 the 8.
Nice.
Next time. But the boon came in quite handy with Jemima because you would have taken damage from both creatures there, William, every turn, and that would have probably brought you back down to 0.
I was very tempted to metagame hard and cast light to make them all suck.
I mean, it's an option, I guess.
Yeah.
Do they get the sunlight sensitivity?
Their damage resistance turns off when there's light.
Hmm.
Yeah, they were tough.
Have them.
Yeah.
That was a fun,
No, they're
scary
fine.
combat.
Light doesn't
I
do
felt
much.
no pain or fear, only glory.
Only glory. Any favorite scenes there?
The Wrath of
It's
Bruce
a lot
is
of good
pretty great.
fuckery.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I was gonna say
That-
definitely William pretending to be a ghost by being invisible while disguised as Darian. I was just like, what is happening right now? That was very fun.
Illusion magic.
There were a lot of really culty moments there. Almost like it warrants a sort of Guard of the Week award, wouldn't you say? So Charlie's going to run a little Guard of the Week poll in chat for a special little boon that you guys can decide on. Well, not the boon itself, although I do take suggestions. What to give to one of the guards of your choosings. You can definitely decide on the guard. And vote in chat. Charlie has the rules there as well. And while you do that, let's have a little post-introduction, I guess, of who we are in real life and where you can find each and every one of us the purchase we got going. Let's start with our man of so many faces, Jesse. What are you doing? Where can we find you? Who are you? Why are you
Cool.
here?
I don't know. God's sakes, I don't know. My name is Jesse. You can find me on Twitter as @JesseNeon. I am a writer doing a lot of nonsense. My first novel came out a little while ago. You can pick it up. It's super cool. It's called The Grave Robber's Sword. And I just released a subclass last week called The Way of the Frozen Heart Monk, which is tons of fun on the DM's Guild.
I saw that.
It's a good time. And then besides that, just shenanigans. So, yeah.
What a surprise. And Amork Nat, where are we finding you usually?
Oh, well, you can find me here for the next couple Wednesdays, but more importantly, this Sunday, I'm going to be running the I'm still have a little bit of Mork in my voice. I'm running the monthly meat grinder here on Encounter Roleplay. I want to say that's 3 Eastern time, but that might be a smidge off. We'll see. It's the Vault of the Void Soul, and we're going to have a grand old time. We just chosen our cast, so I have 12 lovely victims to murder through. It'll be grand. You can also find me most Mondays over on Encounter, not Encounter, over on Chromatic Chimera, where the No Initiative crew, it's a D&D live play group I'm a part of. We'll be starting up our new campaign in just a couple weeks. We just finished a whole stint through Eberron with lots of undead themes, and now we're moving on to Wildmount, Daring and Divine. We're gonna have a grand old time.
Nice. I do like the Wildmount.
That's me.
The Wildmount scene, which brings us to Tom. Don't you have a Wildmount campaign?
I do. When I'm not here, you can find me over at Master the Game, and we are playing later tonight, Forgotten Throne, and then on Friday, I am DMing a Wildmount game with our wonderful DM, playing a fighter who honestly would fit in wonderfully with this crew.
Honestly, I didn't have that planned. I'm blaming you guys for her being dorky and cute and wholesome. Like, it's your fault.
Yes. And then next Friday is the Dark Astral one-shot here on Encounter Roleplay, which I'm going to be DMing, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be very Warhammer 40k, Dune, and Firefly all mixed into one horrible thing.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. And Anna.
Yes,
Where is
Anna.
your green face? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to
my
bring
green face, my many faces, can be found on Twitter at Nymeria941, and I also have a YouTube channel over at Anna Goldberg, which is just my name. I'm currently running a disability-focused readathon there for the rest of this week, so if you want to come hang out with us, you know where to find me. You can also watch me streaming in the Dead Winter City of Mist game over on Chromatic Chimera on Fridays. And also, there is one last thing. Next Thursday, I'm going to be on a panel for the R Fantasy Virtual Con. So it's on the r/fantasy subreddit, and you can come ask me all of your questions about fantasy books and reading. So
Sweet. And I'm half-arsed hermit. I'm Lydia, and I'm mostly here. I live here now. I have no other things to do, so I'm that wretched creature on Charlie's leg who's like, hey, we could do this. Hey, we could do that. Hey, let me do the music there. So you'll find me here, of course, the next 2 weeks with my lovely guards. I'll be in Tom's Dark Astral one-shot as well. Might come up in that Meat Grinder towards the end if he manages to kill off people as quickly as he promises. I'm going to hold you to that.
This is a disintegrate and glyph of warding kind of game. Be ready.
Yes. I'm so here for it. I'm really, really here for it. And the next Meat Grinder, because we've got another one coming up at the beginning of May, 10th of May most likely, is going to be DM'd by me, and it's all going to be Fable shittery. And you were so close to Fable shittery, but of course you sort of like, oh, the graveyard looks really interesting. So I'm like, yeah, sure, throw them into the Shadowfell. But Fae is where my heart is, so I'm going to throw some of that at you. But more of that, of course, once it's all official in the Discord, which you should definitely join. That's where all the casting calls are. That's where we are most of the time. That's where you'll find out more about the shows. Check out our sponsors, from World Anvil to Fantasy Grounds to all the lovely, lovely publishers that work with us on a regular basis. We also want to thank Gabe for helping us a little bit with character creation, because he's come up with a beautiful special module for distributing skill points, ability points based on class rather than race. Because let's be honest, that's bullshit. So have a look at his itch.io or at his Twitter, Gabe James Game. Gabe James Gabe, yes. And check us out as well tomorrow, because we'll be here. No, well, not us, but Encounter Roleplay will be here with, what is it? Is it Deaf Curious on tomorrow? Should be, right? Good. Well, you know what? You'll see. You'll find out. You'll find out, because we have a lovely little trailer running. And join us again next week. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night.
Bye.